Hey y'all, it's me. It's your girl, and you already know. Like, share it, subscribe. What's up, real deal? What's up? It's two things I want to talk about today. And man, I'm so mad, y'all. I'm so upset. I'm really just controlling myself. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm just really controlling myself because after I found out something that I talked about this morning that I knew yesterday when I did that live, and I knew that little girl was crying on that stand on like there no women cry nor kids. I'm sorry, y'all don't be mad at me all you want because I don't need to get. When that little girl was crying, I said, "Oh, that man over there made me mad, man." That baby cried because she knew. I knew he did something to her. He couldn't hide that from me. So y'all come on and hit the like button. Okay. Oh, okay, y'all. Let me control myself. I didn't know it until somebody, one of my subscribers came in and they when I was talking while I was at work, and I was talking. I said that little girl hiding some, y'all. The prosecutor gonna save it for last. And then she came in there. She says, "Lanita." I was at work. I be so tired, y'all, in the morning time. I'm gonna be honest with the ones who my subscriber who think I be live in the morning. That be my upload. But lately I've been live and I've been not taking my naps, y'all, and I need my naps. And I snore and I'm tired. I be tired. What's up, Shelly? And I got my real deal. If you ain't no real deal, you won't understand what I'm saying. You got to understand. Yeah, I gel my hair down because I ain't want to buy no wig. But we gonna talk. We gonna talk to my little boo thing coming over. Ain't nothing gonna go wrong. Ain't nothing. Okay. All right, a couple things that I want to cover before we start our live this evening. I'm still kind of tired, but I'm hanging in here. I ain't no 24-year-old woman, but ain't no old lady either. Oh, you like it? Yeah, I took Joanne Point to I told Joanne Point to go ahead on and gel it down. I ain't want to put no wig on. I can't do that up under that hot head. I have to put on, y'all. I felt like I was gonna die today. I ain't lying. I ain't want to tell y'all. I felt like I was gonna fall out today, and I took the little water that I had, and I turned it up, and I was like, Lord, I ain't drink no water today. I ain't eat today. I just went straight to my life. I can't do that, y'all. I ain't young like I used to. When you hey, I ain't young like I used to. No, baby, I got to have something to eat. I want to give a shout out to all my mods. They ain't no mods or nothing. I got another mod y'all don't see, but y'all come in and smash that like button. I worked too hard over here. Come in and smash the like button. And I'll be back and we're gonna get started. We got some things to talk about, y'all. Woo! Woo! We got some things to talk about. Woo, y'all come in, smash the like button. Come on, grown folks. This is grown folks channel. You got no children on my channel. That's y'all grown people. You got no children on my channel. My channel is blocked for kids. My channel is Lanita. The real deal channel is blocked for little kids. I just got grown people on my channel. All right, y'all. Smash the like button. I should have my like 1,000 likes up there. My channel is very, very, very sophisticated. I should have my like 1,000 likes, just like AK-47 and everybody else. AK, my boy. And all my women channel. Y'all come on in. And come on, ladies, we got to sit together. We got to get our women channels together. Y'all got to look out for us women channels. All the women channels, like me and everybody else, y'all got to look out for our channels. Y'all got to come on in because we working hard. Let me catch my breath. Get mama had to run up them steps. Okay, I want to show y'all one video before I get started. It's two things I'm going to talk about today. Hold on, y'all. It's two things I want to talk about today. I'm going to talk about De Cuatro, Uncle Johnathan Quiles' niece is telling it all. She telling it all, y'all. I told y'all yesterday that girl is hiding, holding back. And every time I look at Johnson, it make me just want to throw up because I know that girl, when she cried on the stand, he did something to her. I knew he did. Ain't nobody have to tell me. I knew he did. And he had her scared. And he did another look at her at the stand. And she cried. She cried. That baby cried, y'all. That baby cried. I don't like to hear women and children cry. They scattered that man. They scattered that man, y'all. And now he got the daughter, SS afraid because He got been here, her friend. I don't understand how they got like that. They haven't been protected all their life. They ain't been protected. But baby, I knew something wrong with that girl. I knew something wrong with that baby. I knew something wrong with her sister, and I knew something wrong. I knew something wrong with Ayana and her sister. Can nobody tell me that? Can nobody tell? I'm a mother. I'm a real mother. I'm a real grandma. I'm real both of them. Let me catch my girl. But before we get started, I'm gonna get my other people time to get in here. So another video I want to show y'all about an Alabama high school. I need me add high school too. Hold on, y'all. Alabama. Hold on, y'all. Man, okay, yeah, I want to add another video. I'm gonna let y'all look at before we get started. Alabama high school. Man, oh man, I ain't gonna be able to put all this in there. Hold on, y'all. I ain't gonna be able to add all this. Okay, let me. Okay, this what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put these. I'm gonna put tails. Okay, hold on, y'all. Tails. High school and direct. Okay, but so we can go ahead on to get started. Cause y'all know I ain't sleeping in the evening time. I'm sleeping at night. Okay, this is what I want to show y'all first. I want to go ahead on and get started with a video of the band director, Alabama high school band director. Oh my God, y'all. He was so disrespectful around them kids. Me, I respect kids, period. I respect kids. Me, I respect your kids and any kid, period. I respect kids. I don't drink around kids. I don't cuss around kids. I wasn't brought up that way, so I'm not gonna be that way. So I don't do it. And when I go around people and they drinking and smoking around kids, I say, y'all call me over here. Y'all want me to party with y'all and y'all got these kids. And my mama used to say, "Oh, yeah, you just if you don't want it." And I said, "Well, mama, I don't party like this. You know, kept that in my mama, and I'm over somebody else out there, and I get in my car and leave. I'm not about to drink around no kids. I can't, y'all. I can't. I can't. I wasn't raised that way, and I don't know why my mama freaked out on me because I'm over somebody. Well, this not your house, but this band director." The police officer gave him a chance, y'all, to leave the school. The band director know he got high school children and middle school kids in his band. Least you could have just everybody gone, y'all. Everybody left the stadium. The referees gone. The football team gone. And he the only band out there in the stand still trying to hear his music. And when they were ready to go home, people at the stadium, I used to work at do the clock at the football game. I was the clock operator for the stadium. We ready to go home because we don't been there. We don't did 2 football games, so we ready to go home. So right here in Alabama, that man didn't want to go home. What was wrong with him? He must be mad with his wife. Y'all, they arrested that band director. They took him to jail that night. And they turned the light off at the stadium so they can go home. I'm gonna let y'all see it. And it hurt my feelings so bad because my kids was in the band. I would have went over there and got my kids. I would have went over there and got my kid. They would have been home. I don't play that when it come down to my kid. Not with the police, but with the band director. Let me let y'all see that right quick. I'm gonna show that right quick. Watch his attitude, y'all. He telling the police officer to get out of his face. And ain't nobody out there to hear his music, y'all. Everybody going home. Look at the field. And he told the band to come on. The cheerleaders still out there. Everybody gone, y'all. Look at this. He just look, y'all. They turning off the lights at the stadium. Listen to the band. Everybody screaming. I think they were so disrespectful of the band director. And why is the band member screaming? Like they ain't never been in no dog. Yeah, they arresting him. I'm showing this before I show what's going to happen today. Look at that. He wanted to fight the police officer. Look at him. Look at him. Thank you. Thank you. They were playing. Only reason why they were playing because he kept the band director kept telling them to play. They locked him up. He kept telling them to play. My children was in the band. My children were have to come. I don't play that mess. Listen, look at him, y'all. There you go. Look at that. He kept telling them to play, and the officer said, "Everybody gone, y'all." I don't think it was something wrong with him. Thank you. It was time for them to go home, and they were playing because the band director, they took him to jail because he told the police, he didn't want to go leave the stadium out like ain't nobody sleeping, and he letting the kids see them do him like that. Look, they handcuffing him and recording him. I want every band director to see this. This is totally disgusting. The band director, not the police officer. The band director. I didn't understand why he ain't let them kids go home. I didn't understand that, y'all. I'm sorry. I just didn't. I had to play that because I was totally disappointed. Before I had to play that before I was totally disappointed in the band director. My kids was in the band. My kids was in the band. I would have been so mad. Hard time is he about to lose his job. And guess what? I bet they gonna suspend him. He ain't gonna lose his job. They gonna suspend him. They gonna suspend him and put him in time out. They're gonna put him in time out, y'all. He ain't gonna lose the job as a band director. They gonna put him in time out. He gonna be in time out. It's superintendent time out. That's what he gonna be in. Now, y'all, we're gonna I had to show that because only reason why I had to show that because I was the track coach, head track coach. And I never disrespect nothing nobody asked me to do. Nothing. If they said tell them all when we have our meetings, like that band director, most of the kids in the band had like little attitudes. And I said, y'all got it like that because y'all band director like that. But look, you don't talk to me like that. But my kid was in the band. And I always taught my kids respect. I don't care when they're not around me, around me. But y'all, we're gonna get into this other video. What's up, y'all? I mean, it's so disrespectful to teach kids disrespect. Man, I know, and then I know them kids got to go home tell their mama and daddy, they locked Mr. Hustable up. So we're gonna get started with our next video. I have to show videos like this because I have young parents and I want my parents to see what's going on in this world when they at work. Now, this video right here, I'm about to describe to y'all is something I've been so upset with Johnathan about. I was talking about Johnathan when I went to sleep today. I be in the morning time, y'all. The only reason why the real deal go to sleep is because when I leave off on that first shift, I had to go to sleep because I had to get back up and go back to work. But this live, we was talking about it in LP. Well, that LP to Abdullah. They came in and told us that when Joanne and we was on live and we was like I was saying that I'm mad at Johnathan because Johnathan scared that girl on live the other day when he was in the court because he was looking at that girl and she cried. I don't like to hear kids cry and women cry. I don't like it. I don't like it. And I have to stay strong for them. And I told y'all yesterday that he did something to her sister too. It's no way if I'm gonna say I protect my sister and I'm in the other room. Something ain't right about that family. Something is not right about what's going on with them kids. Either the kids over the grandmother house or they over to the sister house who be gone all day and all night and they be with Johnathan. Now it was time for Johnathan to get rid of Ayana. Now I got to start on SS. Listen to this video. I knew it was gonna come up. I knew it. Y'all make sure y'all like that like button. Hit that like button. I work so hard over here. Okay, let's look at this.
Want to read the instruction now?
Yes, please, Your Honor. Would you read the instruction?
All right, members of the jury, the evidence you're about to receive concerning other crimes, wrongs, or acts allegedly committed by the defendant will be considered by you for the limited purpose of proving motive, opportunity, intent, plan, absence of mistake or accident, and corroboration of IS as to count 3 of the indictment, and motive as to count 1 and 2 of the indictment. However, and you shall consider it only as relates to those issues. However, the defendant is not on trial for a crime, wrong, or act that is not included in the indictment. State, you may inquire. You're ready.
Good afternoon.
Hi,
Can you just again state your name for the record again?
Samaya Sawyer.
And we'll refer to you as SS the remaining of your testimony. And
Okay, for those who new to the chat, her name is SS is Samaya. Okay, Samaya is Ayana's sister. Y'all got to pay attention to the case in order to understand the case, okay? Pay attention to the case, okay? Her sister back on the stand. She left the other day, but she back on the stand. Watch Johnathan, y'all. Watch Johnathan. I think the prosecutors about to rest their case because they brought their main witness. Usually when they bring their main witnesses, they done. And she came back. She about to tell it on him.
Ma'am, what is your date of birth again?
September 25th, 2003.
And how old are you today?
I'm 19.
Back in 2017, how old would you have been before your birthday?
14.
How old would you have been post-birthday?
I'm sorry. The previous question is 13 and this question is 14.
Yes, ma'am. And then in 2018, how old, what two ages would you have been depending on the month based on your birthday in September?
14 and 15.
Now, during those time frames, I believe you had stated that you had spent a lot of time at the defendant's house. And again, just for record purposes, the person that you know to be Johnathan Quiles, is he still located here in the courtroom today, like as of last week?
Yes, ma'am.
And just identify something that he is wearing today.
A white shirt.
And is he, where, and then what part of the courtroom?
To my right.
Your Honor, just let the record reflect the witness has identified the defendant again.
So reflected.
And would you spend a lot of time at the defendant's house with your aunt and also your Aunt Naomi's house?
Yes.
And would you spend time at the defendant's house along with your sister?
Yes.
And then would there be times where only you out of the siblings went to the defendant's home?
Yes.
Now, during the time frame when you were between the ages of 13 and 15, were they living at that 1503 16th Street house?
Yes.
And just so that we know that we're talking about the same house, I'm just going to show you one picture very briefly. It states Composite 19. Are we talking about this residence here in states 19G?
Yes.
Okay. And how often do you think you would visit at the defendant's house and your Aunt Naomi's house during the ages of 13 and 15?
Very often. Yeah.
And just to kind of maybe hone it down just a little bit, would that be weekly or maybe every two weeks type situation?
About every 2 weeks. Yeah.
And was your mom a single mother during that time?
Yes.
And would you go over to the defendant's house and your Aunt Naomi's house because the defendant would be there and be an adult over you?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, boo.
Is that fair to say because your aunt would be at work most of the time?
Yes.
Okay. Now, during this time frame, SS, did something happen between you and the defendant that was also inappropriate?
Yes.
Were you first the age of 13 when something happened?
Yes.
Now, we also talked about the residence. Was there another 2 locations that we're about to talk about where inappropriate things that your uncle did to you?
Yes.
Where were those 2 locations, just generally speaking?
Look
The car
at
and the
him.
beach. The beach.
And we're talking about the car. What type of car?
It was a red van.
Look
I'm
at
going
him,
to be
y'all.
showing you again just one picture from States Composite 21. I'm showing you states evidence 21C. Is that the red van that you were just talking about?
Yes.
And then the beach, would that be down in like Jacksonville Beach
Exactly,
area?
Nika.
Yes.
And have you recently viewed a picture of yourself at the beach back in March of 2018?
Yes.
And was that picture on the defendant's cell phone?
Yes.
And was it a picture of you? There's two pictures, wasn't there?
Yes, ma'am.
And was there a picture of,
I want to say something about what Nika just said. You can't trust nobody, not even your family. And I've been saying this. I've been saying this over and over and over and over. And I was so glad somebody said this. I was so glad somebody said this, so they can understand the why I'm like I am. I don't trust. I got a trust issue. And I had to stop the video because I want to put this up here. You can't trust nobody, not even your family. You just have to use your own brain with your kids.
you and NQ in one of them?
Yes.
And then was there a picture of you, IS, and NQ in another picture?
Yes.
Now, can you tell us about before we get to the incidents, will the defendant ever compliment you?
Yes.
And what type of compliments would he give you?
Like compliment my body or tell me I was beautiful.
Can you talk? And I know this is tough.
Look, y'all, look at him. Look at the devil over there talking. Why she at first, when she first took that stand, he was looking at her. He was leaning to the side looking at her. Now that she's telling on him, he been talking to the prosecutor. And the prosecutor don't look, he even looking another way. She telling on him now. I'm so glad somebody told on him. Ooh, wee, Chad. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Y'all gotta excuse me.
But yeah, can you get a little closer?
Oh,
We just
man.
want to make sure everyone can hear what you say, okay?
Yeah. He would compliment my body or tell me I'm beautiful.
See?
Now, when you say compliment your body, what exactly do you mean by that?
Like my shape or yeah.
Would that include the breast area?
Yes.
Would that include the buttocks area?
Yes.
Tell on him.
Did you have any other uncles compliment you in that way?
No.
How did the compliments make you feel?
Like a little uncomfortable. Yeah.
Now, did the defendant like to talk to you when you were not at the residence of his and his ex-wife's Naomi Mobley?
Yes.
How did the defendant like to talk to you?
Through Snapchat.
And did the defendant tell
Yeah.
you why he liked to speak with you by Snapchat?
Yes.
And why is that?
Because the message is a race.
What?
And would the defendant do these compliments as well in the Snapchat format?
Yes.
Now, did the compliments turn into a more sexual nature?
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
He would say things that he would want to do to me or send pictures of himself.
And he over there
What kind
writing.
of pictures would he send of himself?
Nude.
Now, drawing your attention to when you were 13, would this would have been in 2017, is
In the
that
8th
accurate?
grade.
Yes, ma'am.
And this would have been before your birthday in September of 2017?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember what time of the year in 2017?
I like late 2017.
She was in
So if it's
8th
late
grade.
2017, would you have been 14?
Yeah, but some were before I was 14. Yeah.
Okay. So first I want to talk about when you're 13, when something first happened. Do you recall?
Yes,
Where were you?
at the beach.
Who was at the beach on this occasion?
Me, my sister, and the defendant's daughter.
Mm.
Was it common for the four of you to go to the beach together?
Yes.
What?
Where were you specifically at on the beach? And what I mean, had you gone to a restroom? Were you on the sand, the water? Tell us exact, kind of more detailed wise.
The water.
And where was NQ and IS?
On the sand.
Can you tell us what happened when you and the defendant are in the water at the beach when you're 13 years old?
Yes. He was touching me like with his hands over my body.
Now, did you have a bathing suit on?
Yes.
I know, just making sure. Typically, what kind of bathing suit would you wear?
A 2-piece.
And you said that his hands, and where did they touch?
My body. And
Now, when you say your body, that can mean a lot of different things.
Mm.
Can you just take us maybe from head to toe where he touched you on your body?
my breasts, my butt, and my front area.
And I apologize for, and we can refer to it as front area, the rest of the testimony potentially. I might have to clarify sometimes, but just for record purposes, when you say front area, are you referring to your vagina area?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, when he used his hands, defendant, to touch you and I think you said your breast, your buttocks, and then the front area, which we know that what that means here, would he touch you over your bathing suit or under your bathing suit on this time?
Both.
I'm glad she talking. Look at him.
Now, did you want him to do that?
No.
Okay. Did it feel awful?
Yes.
How long did it last?
Around 2 minutes.
Did it seem like an eternity?
Yeah.
Now, after that, did you tell anyone?
No.
And why not?
It's embarrassing, I guess. Yeah.
Was it hard to understand it?
Yeah.
Was the defendant somebody that you had gotten to know well?
Yes.
And the defendant was, a lot of the time, you were in his care, weren't you?
Yes.
Was it confusing?
Yes.
Now, did anything else that your memory tells you happened when you were 13?
Mm. Um.
Tell it.
I'm not really good with dates. Not.
Well, let me ask you this. You talked about the touching. Did that happen when you were 13?
Yes.
And it happened at the beach?
Yes.
Now, when you were 13, did the defendant ever touch you with some other part of his body?
Yes.
Which part
Um.
or parts?
His genital area.
What about his mouth?
Yes.
Let's talk about the mouth first. Where did defendants, now did the defendant use his mouth at any time during this time at the beach?
Not that I can recall.
And at this time at the beach when you were 13, did the defendant use, and we'll get into more specifics and if it applies or not, with his genitals at the beach and this time?
Tell the
I
truth,
believe he
baby.
was kissing my neck. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is it hard to relive this?
Yeah.
So the defendant kissed your neck when you were at the beach when the first time you were 13?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, when you were 13, did the defendant kiss you on the lips?
Yes.
Would that have been at the beach or somewhere else?
At the beach.
Now, did anything else happen at the beach on this occasion besides the touching? And I say besides, I'm not trying to obviously minimize, but we've already discussed regards the kissing and the touching.
He rubbed himself against me.
Now, when you say rubbed himself, does that mean that his body touched your body where it was rubbing up against each other?
Yes, ma'am.
Could you feel his genitals rubbing against your genitals?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have your bathing suit on at this time?
Yes, ma'am.
Did the defendant have a bathing suit on?
It was like shorts.
Okay. And did he have a shirt on or off?
Off.
After this happened, SS, did something happen after another time?
Yes.
And where were you located?
At his house.
I'm sorry.
At his house.
And is that the house that we just looked at in States 19, the yellow house?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you recall approximately how old you were at this time?
Around 13, 14.
And do you recall who was at the house during this time?
Yes.
Who?
My Aunt Naomi, me. I'm not sure if his daughter was there at the time, and him.
And with any other your siblings present?
No.
So so it was in total 4 of you or 3, maybe 4, but you know for sure 3 of you.
Yes.
Where did something happen in the house or outside the house?
In the living room.
And do you recall what time of day or night this was?
It was late at night.
Where were you located at late at night?
On the couch.
Where was your Aunt Naomi located?
In her room.
Were you asleep?
Yes.
Did something happen that awoke you?
Yes.
What happened where you woke up?
The defendant was touching me.
And did the defendant come onto the couch with you?
Yes.
And did the defendant say anything to you?
Not that I remember.
And what did the defendant do to you while you were on the couch?
He was touching me.
I know it's hard. I know, but
Tell
we gotta
them,
have you
girl.
speak up
Tell them.
because we just all need to make sure we know what you're saying. Okay, I know it's hard.
He was touching me.
When you say touching me, you know, I know I have to ask the difficult questions. I apologize again.
Y'all see this man? This man took his glasses off. He took his glasses off to give her attention that I see you. Whoa, boy. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Let me control myself. Ugh.
Do you need some water or anything? You okay?
Okay.
Look at him. He took his
When you say
glasses
touching
off.
me, what is the defendant touching you
He
with?
drank water.
His genitals.
Do you have clothes on at this time?
Can't.
Not the bottom portion.
Did you have your bottom portion on prior to the defendant waking you up?
Yes.
Did you have like a 1-piece pajama set or a 2-piece pajama set?
It was 2.
So are you saying that the defendant pulled down were you wearing pants or shorts?
It was shorts.
Did the defendant pull your shorts down?
Yes.
Now, You're on the couch sleeping. Did you have a blanket or pillow or anything with you on the couch?
It was a blanket and the couch pillows.
Okay, so you were sleeping with the couch pillows and then you did have a blanket for the evening?
Yes.
Now, were you on top of the blanket or underneath the blanket?
It was just like on me. I was underneath it.
You were underneath the blanket? Is that a yes for the record?
Yes.
Now, did the defendant come underneath the blanket with you?
No.
The defendant was on top of the blanket?
Yes, ma'am.
What did the defendant do with the blanket, if he did anything at all?
Just like moved it to the side.
Did you want the defendant to pull your shorts down?
No.
Did you say anything?
No.
Were you in shock?
Yes.
Did your panties get pulled down?
Yes.
You tell us what happened from there.
Tell it, girl.
Um.
Tell it.
It's intercourse.
You need a second?
I'm okay.
Okay.
It was intercourse.
I can't hear you. I'm sorry. I know.
It was intercourse, and he was just touching me all over.
I have to ask you a hard question. I'm gonna make sure I have it right on the record.
Like your sister, baby.
And you can just say yes or no, okay? When you say intercourse, does that mean that the defendant inserted his penis inside of your vagina?
Yes.
And you
Yes.
did not want this to happen, did you?
No.
And you said that you were either 13 or 14 at the time?
Yes, ma'am.
Why
And then
they
you said
tell
the
they
defendant
mama?
was touching you all over. Is that with his hands?
Yes.
Did your shirt ever come off during this time?
No.
Did your Aunt Naomi ever come out the bedroom during this time?
No.
What?
Did the
Wait.
defendant use his mouth
Hold
for
up.
anything?
Hold up. Naomi. Naomi. Come on, Naomi. You knew about this. The auntie knew about this. The auntie in the house, y'all. The auntie better make sure she take the stand. Because I'm going to be on her. Where my glasses at? Y'all, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hey, baby. I'm so. Oh my gosh, these girls ain't had nobody to go to.
During this time?
Not that I can remember.
Ugh.
After this happened to you, after
Come on,
this
prosecutor.
incident, did you tell anyone?
No.
Why?
Why not?
I didn't know how, or I just didn't.
Did you just say you didn't know how?
Yeah.
Were you scared?
Yeah.
Now,
Y'all, for this girl to be afraid to tell anybody, ain't nobody never believed nothing her sister ever told them. The family ain't never believed nothing they have ever told them. And that's why they were scared to go to somebody. This is not them kids' fault. When he took Ayana out of here, he was about to start on baby girl. And then he gonna start on the next girl, and it may be his daughter next.
did the defendant sexual abuse you again after this?
Yes.
Where were you located?
In the car.
And that's the red minivan in States 21 that you had
What's that
identified
supposed
for us?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, were you and the defendant going anywhere?
Yes.
Where were you guys? Where were the two? Was it
None of
just
it
the two
did.
of you, or was there more people in the car?
Just the two.
And where were the two of you going?
To the store.
And do you recall what store it was?
Winn-Dixie, I believe.
And do you recall if it was in the daytime, the nighttime?
It was the daytime.
Do you recall approximately how old you were?
14, 15-ish.
Dang, he been doing it 2 years.
Did something happen beyond just going to Winn-Dixie?
Yes.
Did the defendant take you to Winn-Dixie with the car?
No.
Where did the defendant take you?
Like an isolated area.
And was it here, though, still in Jacksonville?
Yes.
And what happened in the van?
I got in the back seat and he bent me over.
Did you want to go in the back seat?
No.
And, obviously we've looked at the pictures. Are we talking about?
Guess what, y'all? The prosecutor gonna rest. What happened? Let me tell y'all what happened. Now, she don't told me the whole story. We already knew that she was involved. He started with her way before he started with Ayana. And I'm about to tell y'all right now. It started with the youngest, with this SS first. And he stopped, and then he went to Ayana. And then when he figured Ayana, see, she said the SS had told us that she was protecting Ayana. She was protecting Ayana for what happened to her, but she didn't tell nobody. So he started messing with Ayana, but the whole time he had already messed with SS. So what he was gonna do? I'm about to get rid of Ayana. Now I'm about to correct you, boys. Huh. Can't trick me with this. Mm-mm. Mm.
About the two center seats, or are we talking about the third row?
Third row.
Did the defendant ask you to go to the back seat or tell you to go back seat? How did that happen?
More like tell me to go to the back seat.
And what happened in the back seat?
He bent me over and we had penetrational intercourse.
And when you say bent you over, did he take off any of your clothing?
My pants.
And would that include your panties?
Yeah.
And again, I apologize for saying these harsh terms with you. I know you're still only 19.
But they got to tell it.
The defendant also, at this time in the red van that we talked about in States 21, and insert his penis into your vagina.
Yes.
Now, did the defendant do anything with his hands during this horrible time?
Not that I can recall.
What about, did the defendant do anything with his mouth to you?
I believe he was kissing my neck.
The defendant was kissing your neck?
Yes.
Did the defendant say anything to you?
No.
Look at him.
Now, after this, did you go back to the defendant's house?
Yes.
Did you tell anyone?
No.
Look at him.
And was it
He
based
done.
upon the same reasons that you've already told us about being scared, confused, not knowing what to do?
Yes.
He looking at the judge now. But the police officer looking at him. That officer right there looking at him.
Now,
Yeah, too.
is there another time that the defendant sexually abused you that you remember?
Yes.
And is that in regards, again, at the defendant's residence?
Yes.
And were you staying the night?
Yes.
Do you recall who was there that night?
Yes.
Who was home?
Him, his daughter, and me.
So just the three of you?
Yes.
Was your Aunt Naomi working through the night?
Yes.
Wow.
Do you recall approximately how old you were?
14, 15.
Man,
And is
this
it fair to
boy
say
started
that,
on boy, all of this started out with the youngest girl first. All of this started out with the youngest girl first. All of this started out with the baby girl first, the youngest girl first. The youngest girl first. Auntie ain't never around. Auntie was around, boy. Just making his way through them kids one by one, and he made it. Why aren't they telling their mom? Why aren't they telling their mom? They mom, something don't happen. So now he disrespecting the youngest one. She ain't get pregnant. Now he disrespecting the youngest one. Now he don't start it on Ayana. Ayana didn't know that this probably even happened. Ayana might not even know that this happened to her little sister. They don't talk to nobody. They don't tell nothing to nobody. Wow, man, I knew it was gonna be. I knew it was gonna be like this.
in totality, any sexual abuse
Woo.
that the defendant did to you was between 2017 and 2018?
I'm going to object. Is counsel testifying or asking a question?
Sustained.
Would we have been in, when you're 14 or 15, would we have been in 2017 or 2018?
Both.
Okay. Now, the incident that you're here discussing now in regards to being at the defendant's residence, do you recall approximately when that was?
Late 2017. Oh, no, 2018.
And would this have occurred prior to your sister's disappearance and murder?
Yes.
Now, can you tell us what happened during this incident?
Yes. I was in the bedroom in the bed. And his daughter was next to me asleep. And it was penetrational intercourse again.
Where was Ayana?
Were you sleeping in the defendant's bed?
Yes.
And I believe you stated there was 2 other individuals in the bed as well?
Yes.
And was that the defendant?
Yes.
And you stated it was his daughter, NQ?
Yes.
Do you
Man, he
recall
done-
how old she approximately was at the time?
Like 3 or 4.
Was she awake or asleep?
Sleep.
Were you asleep at the time?
Where was Ayana?
Did the defendant wake you up?
Yes.
Where was Ayana?
Did the defendant do anything to your clothing?
The bottoms were off.
When you say the bottoms, what does that include?
Underwear and shorts.
And did the defendant do anything with his genitalia?
Yes.
And what did he do?
It was penetrational intercourse.
And did the defendant insert his penis inside of your vagina?
Yes.
The defendant, did he use his hands at all during this sexual abuse?
Besides groping me, I don't think so.
And again, just to be clear, when you say groping, does that mean the defendant's hands would touch your chest area, your private area, and your buttocks
Look
area?
at the judge.
Did the defendant do anything with his
Look
mouth
at the
during
judge.
this time?
Not that I can recall.
Now, after this sexual abuse occurred, did you tell anyone?
No.
Was it based on the same reasons that you've already stated?
Yes.
Now, the last time you testified, we had talked about Don Quay. Well, before I get to that, are there any other incidents of sexual abuse that you remember?
Not that I can recall right now.
So when you testified last week, you had talked about Don Quay and parsley. Did the defendant ever ask you to take Don Quay and parsley?
Yes.
Whoa.
And did you ever receive Don Quay and parsley pills?
Yes.
And who did you receive these pills from?
The defendant.
What?
And did
Wait
you
a
take the
minute.
pills?
Yes.
Hold on. Stop. Stop. Whoa. Whoa. What? That mean he had her. Oh man, he had the sisters pregnant. The sisters are not protected, y'all. What's up, Larry? The sisters are not protected. He done got both sisters pregnant. Thank you, Abdullah. This man done got both of them girls pregnant along with his wife. Who is protecting the girls? That's why he want her to take the parsley, the youngest girl. Oh boy. So what's the pills in the box for the youngest one? Did that mean that he put the pills in there for the youngest one too? He don't got both of them girls and the auntie pregnant. Lord have mercy in the name of Jesus. Woo, y'all pick it up. Didn't nobody have to tell me nothing. I already picked up on this stuff. I already picked up on this mess right here. I knew he was messing with that other girl, the sisters. Oh boy, they ain't even got no mama to run to. They ain't
Did
got
you
no
have any effects physically from taking Don Quay and parsley, and did you take them together?
Together, it makes you drowsy.
y'all, the baby girl. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. The baby girl is pregnant. The youngest girl was pregnant along with Ayana. Where is the family? Why these girls never been protected? I did too. I knew it too. I ain't even seen no Snapchat. I'm talking about I knew it had that when they had the youngest girl kept hanging around. And the youngest girl knew he was gonna kill the oldest girl. Oh man, this sad, man. These girls didn't have nobody to protect them. That's all. Oh,
And did you notice any other physical conditions?
Not that I can recall.
supposed to. The mama ain't doing her job.
We had looked at your previously about pictures from your bedroom. Do you recall that?
Yes.
And that states 18 for the record. And were those Don Quay and parsley pills, again, were they found in you and IS's bedroom?
Yes.
And where did those bottles come from?
The defendant.
Now, were you in love with the defendant like your sister IS thought she was?
Yeah.
Your Honor, argumentative and speculative.
I was asking her.
I understand the
Oh, I'm sorry.
overruled.
No.
And did your sister find out what had happened to you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did it hurt your sister?
Yes.
Told you.
Objection, Your Honor.
Basis.
And speculation.
That ain't no speculation. She right there.
And you already answered, so we'll just move on. And one of my last questions for you, ma'am. After finding out what the defendant had done to you, is that why IS had sex with Kamara Humphrey?
Yes.
Was it revenge?
Yes.
Revenge.
Objection, Your Honor. Speculation. Speculation.
That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation. That's not speculation
Overruled.
Thank you, Judge. So it started with the baby girl. Whew.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Man, this sad. Ain't nobody, the mom ain't even protect them.
Counsel, from now on, whoever asks questions, who makes objections. I thought that was pretty clear. Just from now on.
All right, Michelle.
Can we verify if that red photo is still?
It is, yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much.
What? They did the Snapchat too? I'm gonna go to it. I ain't done with this one. Sure do.
May I please court? All right, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
And I know we tend to trail off, so I'm going to try to remind you, just like Ms. French did, to stay up close to the mic just so that we can make sure we hear everything moving forward, okay?
Okay.
All right. I want to just kind of go back and start a little bit before where we left off. You've kind of detailed and gone through, I believe, four incidences, essentially. There was a beach incident, an incident on the couch, there's one in the van at when you were headed to Winn-Dixie, and then there was a last one on Mr. Quiles and your Aunt Naomi's bed with their daughter also on the bed. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Those are the four incidents that you can recall as you sit here today.
Yes.
There were no other incidents that you can remember outside of those four.
No.
And you said that you weren't the best with dates. So the date and time period that you provided is basically into 2017 into 2018, but nothing more specific than that.
Yes.
All right. When your sister was missing, she'd been gone for nearly 2 weeks at that point. You'd been confronted about your Uncle John's relationship with her at that point. You'd also been lumped in with your sister, and accusations, including you, were put out, correct?
Correct.
You were asked, had Mr. Quiles ever forced himself upon you or forced you to have sex? Your answer was, he never did anything to me. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
You said to your mother, you said to several police officers that nothing ever happened between you and Mr. Quiles. Correct?
Correct.
You then changed that at some point in that conversation or in later conversations to, well, he just touched me on my buttocks or in my chest. Correct?
Correct.
You were confronted again and again, asked about these scenarios to figure out what was really going on. Correct?
Correct.
After being confronted several times, not even on the same dates, not even by the same officers, you finally said it happened once, and you described a couch incident. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Now that couch incident, it's fair to say you've described that incident in several different ways, on several different dates, in several different occasions, correct?
I wouldn't agree with that.
You at one point said that that incident happened in the evening time when your Aunt Naomi was sleeping in the other room. Did you not?
Oh.
Probably.
You then changed that and said, oh no, she was awake. You recall telling me that?
Yes.
In fact, you told me that she was awake, and the way you knew she was awake
was because she had a conversation or spoke to Mr. Quiles, correct?
Correct.
The dates on which you said that incident happened varied widely. At one point, you said it happened in December of 2017. Another time, you said it happened earlier in the year. Correct?
Don't recall.
Now, I want to ask you a quick question. As far as these incidents that you've described, is it safe to say, or is it fair to say, that all of them occurred while Mr. Quiles and your Aunt Naomi were living at that 16th Street house? No matter where they occurred, but that's where they were living during this time period.
Maybe. I'm not good with dates.
All right. Do you recall telling police
Talk,
that
baby.
all of these incidents happened while Mr. Quiles and your Aunt Naomi were living on the 16th, in the 16th Street house?
I don't recall.
What? Come on, baby.
Are you alleging then today that there were sexual encounters or interactions with Mr. Quiles that happened after he moved to the Trout River Drive home?
No.
What is
You're
she?
not alleging that.
Y'all, come on, come on, come on, SS. Protect your sister. You gotta talk. She gotta talk, y'all. Every time that defense lawyer come up there, she changed her story. Man, I wish that was my boy. Oh, talk, baby. Tell.
That he had any sexual encounters with you after they moved to the Trout River Drive?
Not that I can recall.
All right, thank you. You would agree that they moved to that Trout River Drive house in April of 2018. Does that sound about right?
I don't recall.
You don't recall.
And just for dates, and I know you said you're not great at dates, so I'm just gonna try to put this to rest. If they in fact moved there in April of 2018, you would say, or you would agree, that if that in fact is the date that they moved to the Trout River address,
No.
you believe it continued after that date?
Like intercourse?
Yes. Or any sexual encounters?
baby.
You've described 4.
I guess. No. No.
Well, just make it clear for me, because either it ended in April 2018 when they moved to the Trout River address, if all of the incidents happened at the 16th Street.
I'm gonna tell y'all what's going on. I'm gonna tell y'all what's going on. And y'all listen to this. Everybody knows Michelle. Everybody took the stand, know the name Michelle. Everybody know this attorney who approaching her. And so when Michelle talked, Michelle confusing her. 1 minute she want the girl to tell, and 1 minute she don't want the girl to tell. It's something about that attorney Michelle. The little girl, the 19-year-old know Michelle name, the auntie know Michelle name, the mama know the Michelle name, the grandmama know Michelle name, and now Michelle don't turn on the daughter. Now, I'm sick of this now. And Michelle is sitting over here representing the man who is the suspect and not the victim. Now she is screwing the little girl up this ethnic. Oh boy, y'all got to pay attention what's going on, man. Now Michelle don't turn on the daughter. That's why the girl talking confused. And then he over here with his head down. Oh, I can't stand this, y'all. That's why I was the kind of mom I was. I ain't play this
address,
mess.
or it continued to happen, and it did happen at the Trout River address. So which one is it?
No,
It did not continue at the Trout River address.
it would have had to. Yes.
You are changing that even right here as you sit.
You're confusing me.
I'll try to make it clear. I'm not trying to confuse you. I'm just trying to get an idea
Then I just
of when
say that.
it stopped.
Did I just
At the 16th Street address. If they moved to the Trout River address in April of 2018, you may
I just told y'all that that lady was confusing that girl. I told y'all she was confused. That girl just said, "You confusing me. You confusing me because 1 minute you telling me you open my house telling me to say one thing, and then you here in the courtroom telling me to say another thing." Man, I don't like stuff like this. I don't like nobody confuse no child like this, y'all. What I do to mess this thing up? Hold up, y'all. I don't mess this thing up. I'm so mad. I'm so mad with this attorney messing with this girl, man. Oh, I'm not trying to confuse you. Yes, you are. You confusing her. I'm sick of this.
may not remember that. Someone else will. If they moved to the house, that house in April of 2018, your statements that at 16th Street address would mean that it did not continue after April of 2018, correct?
No.
Okay.
What? What? Wait. Hold up. What? What? What is going on here? They making this girl look like a liar on the stand, and this is not fair. Michelle, why are you doing this to her? Oh my gosh. Oh boy. And the auntie knew the whole time, Squeak Capricorn. The auntie knew this the whole time. Auntie knew what was going on the whole time. I'm so, oh boy, if I was the auntie that could protect my niece, this would have never happened. I'm just so disturbed because didn't nobody protect these girls. Nobody. And Michelle, you shouldn't do her like this. Man, let me ride this out. Because I'm getting upset.
After you told police that the sexual encounters with Mr. Quiles only happened one time on the couch, you never detailed any sort of beach incident where you were touched inappropriately or anything like that at that time, correct?
Not that I recall.
In fact, it was 4 months where you led police to believe that this couch incident was the only sexual encounter you alleged to have happened. Do you recall that time period?
No.
You went 4 months without changing that version of what happened until you talked to Detective Milowicki. Do you recall talking to Detective Milowicki?
Yes.
And that was around April of 2019, nearly 4 months after your sister went missing. Correct?
Yes.
You gave a statement to Detective Milowicki. Do you remember doing that?
Yes.
Do you remember when you gave that statement to her, you told her essentially, hey, I want to tell you everything that happened. I want to give you all the details I didn't give you before. Do you remember that conversation with Detective Milowicki?
Yes.
You remember telling her what I just said, that you were going to come clean and basically tell her everything you didn't tell her before?
Not those exact words, but yes.
That sentiment. I may not be quoting you, and I wasn't there, so I don't know exactly what you said, but am I at least characterizing it in the same way that you talked to to Detective Milowicki?
Yes.
What in the world going on?
In that statement, you gave some background and some details to several incidents that occurred. Do you recall talking to Detective Milowicki about being punched in the face?
I don't recall the face, but being hit, yes.
You don't recall talking to Detective Milowicki about being punched in the face?
Not being hit, yes.
Yes. Yes.
One moment, please.
Yes. You got to tell the truth. This girl got to tell the truth. Is she not trusting her own? She not even trusting the prosecutor. Supposed to, when she met with her, she's supposed to make her feel comfortable when she went over to her house. Guess who went over to her house? The defendant attorney, Michelle, came over to their house and questioned it. What is going on with this family? Oh. We can't think for them. That one thing we can't think for this family. This family, something don't happen within the family. And it happened to the girls. Grandma and grandpa know what grandpa done did or what somebody else done did, and they just making it a trend. Ooh, Lord, how much? Michelle wrong. Michelle shouldn't have. Michelle something else. Michelle shouldn't have never questioned that girl. Period. They better be glad this ain't my child, baby. It would have never happened. Trust me, cause I'm a fool for it. I don't care what nobody say. Talk about me, man. It's Didn't nobody protect these kids. Let me go. Let me go. Let me play this.
Do you recall telling your mother that you got hit in the face?
It's 5 years ago.
So you're not saying it's not possible that you said that, you just
5
don't
years
recall it as
ago?
you sit here today?
Yes.
Okay.
I ain't got time for this. We are
Do you recall telling Detective Milowicki that it was Mr. Quiles who punched you in the face because you told him, and I quote, he had a small dick?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe
Girl,
remember telling
talk.
that to Detective Milowicki?
I don't recall.
Too fast. Where the money at?
In your statement, when you talked to Detective Milowicki, you later told her that that wasn't true. Do you remember telling her that?
I don't recall.
Do you remember telling her that you were punched because he wanted you to take some green pills?
Yes.
Do you remember telling her that he punched you and made you take 10 green pills, exactly 10 green pills?
I don't remember the amount I told her, but yes.
Later on, when I asked you these questions, do you recall telling me that it was only 2 pills?
I don't recall.
Do you recall if you in fact said that it was 2 pills, not 10?
I don't recall.
Sound like something you would say?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all something. This family is a mess. The family is a mess, allegedly. That's why she's a mess. Ayana was, see, SS wasn't, she was lying when she said she was protecting Ayana. Ayana was protecting her sister. So Ayana was she's the one with doing things to get him off her sister. Now I'm seeing the picture now. So what we need SS to do is to tell the truth. Speak the truth for her sister, like DL did for his sister. Why isn't she telling the truth for her sister? Her sister gone. She need to talk for her sister. She said she protects her sister, so protect her. No, what it was, Ayana was protecting her sister. Ayana is a honor roll student. This wasn't supposed to happen to Ayana. It's supposed to happen to her sister. Ayana it's the reverse. Ayana was protecting her sister from this coward right here. That's the end of that story right there. Oh, Lord Jesus. I see.
You were asked numerous times by police whether Mr. Quiles had ever communicated with you in any sexual manner whatsoever over social media, over any type of social media accounts, including Snapchat. Do you recall them asking you about this?
Yes.
Every time police asked you, literally every time, you told police that nothing inappropriate ever was discussed on any
I'm
social media
upset.
platform. Do you recall telling police that?
I got 3
Yes.
girls.
In fact, in that statement that you gave to Detective Milwaukee 4 months after, where you said you were coming clean and telling her everything, she asked you again, did he ever communicate with you via Snapchat? Did he ever talk about anything on Snapchat? And you told her no, it was just normal uncle-niece conversations on Snapchat, correct?
Correct.
It wasn't until June of 2023, 4.5 years later, when I asked you about that all of a sudden now you guys have had all of these sexually suggestive conversations on Snapchat, correct?
Correct.
That's something you never told police. Not even to this day as you sit here right now.
Michelle, I don't like what you did to this girl. They need to switch. Where is this? What? Come on, prosecutor. Come on, state. Michelle, visit this home. Michelle, she's for the defendant. She not even supposed to say nothing about this case to the. Oh my God! Really? Michelle wasn't supposed to say nothing to them because she wasn't protecting them. She was trying to work out something for her. Defense, come on, y'all. Oh man, let me tell you something. Michelle tricked the family, tricked the girl, tricked everybody, and what she did was she wasn't supposed to say nothing to them because they were working for the state and not for the defendant. Michelle tricked them. Golly. What is wrong with this family? Street people.
Correct?
I
These
guess.
ain't no real people.
You were actually asked by your Aunt Naomi when allegations and accusations started coming up about your Uncle John having any sort of sexual relationship with your sister. You were asked by your aunt if he had done anything to you.
I was never asked by her.
Thank you.
You claim as you sit here that she never asked you if anything inappropriate happened between the two of you. Let me finish the question before you answer.
No, I just asked that counsel not be argumentative with the witness.
Why don't you just rephrase the question?
Judge, I was just trying to stop to make sure that the record was clear, but
I understand. I'm not faulting you.
Mm-mm.
I'm just saying, just rephrase the question.
of course. You're claiming that your Aunt Naomi never asked you.
Well, see what Michelle did. You not understand, LaShonda. What happened is, LaSonia, Michelle tricked the family as if she was for Ayana, but she wasn't. Everybody came and sat down around Michelle. They said, there he go sitting over there by Michelle. Michelle didn't have no business coming over there tricking them really for the defense and not for the prosecution. Man, that lady used them, man. That lady she walked over them. She walked over them like a dirt bag.
You. Whether there was any sort of sexual encounters, interaction, or anything between you and Mr.
Yeah,
Quiles.
like she
I
is
don't
dating
recall
him.
her asking.
You don't recall her asking that question at all.
No,
Is your statement that she did not ask you that?
not that.
She like him.
Not that what?
Aunt.
Other aunts asked you though,
Yes,
and you told them nothing ever happened.
correct.
Oh, wait, Michelle said me.
All right, let me talk about the first encounter that you described.
Oh, Lord.
You stated you're at the beach, that you believe it was yourself, your sister, IS, and Mr. Quiles and his daughter, NQ, correct?
Correct.
But in fact, your brothers were there as well, KM and SG, correct?
No,
You don't recall telling police that your brothers were also present at that beach.
I don't recall them being there.
All of these people are on the beach, and you're claiming that just you were in the water when this sexual encounter occurred.
In that area, yes.
So they were all sitting on the beach, didn't notice anything going on in the water whatsoever.
No,
You never told any police officer about this beach incident.
I don't recall.
It wasn't until you were in your deposition in February of 2022, more than 3 years later, that you disclosed this beach incident, correct?
I'm not good with dates.
Michelle tricked them.
It wasn't any time close to when this incident occurred. And it definitely wasn't in that 4 months after conversation that you had with Detective Milowicki where you came clean about everything that happened between you and Mr. Quiles.
She
Correct?
dirty.
Correct.
There you go. They fist
As
messing.
far as the incident that you described
Thank
that happened in the van, today you testified that you were headed to Winn-Dixie and that he took you to some undisclosed or isolated area. You don't recall where that was or anything along those lines.
No,
You recall telling police that at one point it was in the abandoned parking lot near the Winn-Dixie.
I don't recall.
Do you recall telling police that at some point his daughter was in the car with you during some incident?
I don't recall.
He see Michelle wrong. Michelle made that girl. They can really flip this charge on Michelle. They can flip this on Michelle. Michelle is wrong. Michelle is so wrong. It don't make no sense. Michelle was around the family and making the family think that they was for them, but she was over there for him. And everything she asking her, she got all the answers from them personally and used it against them in court. Y'all come on now. Any mama can see this. This girl, made me mad. Michelle don't make me mad. I knew it was. Look, y'all, I knew it was something up with Michelle because everybody came into court and said, there he go. He's sitting beside Michelle. Ain't nobody picked that up but us. Everybody took the stand. There he go. He's sitting over there by Michelle. And I was like, why is they calling her his attorney name? And the attorney ain't even for the people. That's so. Yeah, I ain't want to say that word. Lord have mercy, Jesus. Hey. Come on, somebody got to be smart.
Does Mr. Quiles have any, since you have testified that you all have had these sexual encounters?
It
Does
ain't
Mr.
her
Quiles have any
interfering.
distinct markings on his genitalia?
Not that I recall.
Y'all ain't understand. No, it's not the child. What I'm listen, baby. It ain't the child. It's Michelle. Michelle tricked them. Michelle had the family thinking that she was looking out for them, and she was looking out for him. It's Michelle, not the kid. We ain't talking about the kid. We talking about Michelle. Michelle is wrong. She wasn't even supposed to question the family. Not the ones that she going against. Man, this is wrong. This is wrong. I don't know what either, boy. Wait. They got the right one.
You've stated this throughout your testimony on direct, but I'm going to ask it
Get
to you
me like
again.
that. I'll
At
make you
no
look
point in
fool.
time throughout this time
Oh,
period that you
man.
allege that these incidents occurred, did you ever mention
Disrespecting
anything
the
to
young
anyone?
folks.
Correct?
No.
And the prosecutor
Even in
ain't
this incident
saying
that you
nothing.
allege where your Aunt Naomi was awake and within talking distance, you never said anything to her.
No.
You never yelled out. You never did anything along those lines.
No.
Even after your sister went missing,
Michelle is the defense lawyer. Lucy. Lucy. I said Lucy. Lucy. Michelle is the defense lawyer for this clown right here. She tricked them, making them thinking that she was defending them, but she was defending him. That's who Michelle is. She tricked them. And that's wrong. That's low down, man. I don't say what I had said. I don't need nobody tell me nothing. I'm mad now.
there were allegations of sexual abuse of your sister. You still, even then when you were asked, did not tell the truth about what you now claim happened. Correct?
Correct.
That's a serious situation going on if your sister's not being found, correct?
You think?
And you still didn't think that, hey, maybe I should disclose this information so that they know, hey, Mr. Quiles, he's been sexually abusing me and my sister. But you didn't think to do.
No.
Y'all talking to these folks talking to these kids.
You would agree.
These folks making me mad, y'all. They talking to these kids like they grown. And ain't nobody protecting them. They are talking to these kids like they are 20 and 30 years old and ain't nobody saying nothing. The prosecutor ain't even saying nothing. Boy, I'm so...
That there has been little to no consistency in what you allege to have happened between you and Mr. Quiles.
Exactly.
No.
You started off saying he never did anything to you, correct?
Correct.
You changed, though, to what happened, when it happened, how many times it happened, who was there when these things happened. So many details of these incidents that you laid out vary depending on the day that you're asked.
Listen how this lady talking to this girl.
Got to be a lot to keep a track of, correct?
Correct.
Me too.
Nothing further.
I'm so mad at these people.
SS, do you go about your life wanting to think about the defendant sexually abusing you?
No.
Is it in fact something that you don't even want to think about?
Correct.
Do you want to forget about it?
Yes.
And did you ever tell anyone what the defendant did to you?
No.
Did you ever go to your mom and tell her?
No.
Were you, in fact, the one that got confronted about it?
Yes.
And was that because your mom had found something?
Yes.
And based upon that, did your mom then confront you?
Yes.
Had your mom not found something and had not confronted you, would you have told?
No.
Were you
Why?
afraid to tell anything?
Yes.
So you did not freely tell this information, did you?
No, I didn't. Were you also protecting your sister? Yes.
And why?
I thought she was going with my grandma and uncle.
Can you, I know it's hard. Take a moment and breathe. I just want to make sure we all hear you, okay?
I thought she was going with my grandma and I wanted to keep our friendship.
Did you think if you told about the sexual abuse that your sister would be mad at you?
Yeah.
And did you want to keep her secret from the world?
Yeah.
If you could.
Yeah.
But you couldn't, could you?
No.
Your mom found out.
Yeah.
Sure was. Barely.
Did your mom ask you any details about the sexual abuse when this first came out, when your mom found out?
Yes.
Did you want to tell her much?
No.
And did your mom respect that?
Yes.
And this was your mom finding out about the defendant sexually abusing you. That happened while your sister is missing. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Why in April were you ready to tell more about the sexual abuse?
She wasn't coming back.
Hey, baby.
Do you need a moment?
Okay.
I'm almost done, I promise.
So mad with these people.
Is that when you knew you could break the promise to your sister?
Yeah.
And is that why you're willing to tell all about the defendant sexually abusing you?
Yeah.
Nothing further.
Ma'am, thank you for your testimony.
Thank you.
You did good, baby. You did good. Ooh, that's the devil in disguise right there. Oh, wait.
State, you can call your next witness and just take care of the gallery issues that we discussed the last break.
Yes, sir, Your Honor, we're ready.
Hey, you can call your next witness.
Yes, sir, Your Honor, the state would next call ID. Those are initials for the record, not an abbreviation.
Use them babies like that. Against something like that. She sure did a good job. She better be glad I wasn't on her auntie. Because I ain't the one I would have took the stand. They be done put me out that motherfucker, honey. Her sister was very grateful for her. Look at him. I don't like men like that. Who is this coming up on? Look at him. The state get ready to rest, y'all. That's why they bringing their people.
And good afternoon. Come over here to your right. Watch your step as you come forward. There's a slight incline.
Excuse
Need a
me.
glass of water or something, Mr. Gray over here would certainly accommodate you, okay?
All right. That's fine.
And just, if there's an objection made, just pause for a second, let me rule on the objection. And then from there, we'll go from there, okay?
Okay.
Whew.
All right, and just, and that microphone can be manipulated so you can project your voice to the rest of the courtroom, all right?
All right.
With that said, state your main inquiry ready.
Now
Karen,
who it
Would you
is?
please read the instruction?
I hope this the
Members of the jury,
auntie.
the evidence you're about to receive concerning other crimes, wrongs, or acts allegedly committed by the defendant will be considered by you for the limited purpose of proving motive,
We don't throw up
opportunity,
that darn
intent,
courtroom.
plan, absence of mistake or accident as to count 3 of the indictment,
What's girl?
and as to motive
My niece would love
as
me.
to counts
It
1
would
and
have
2
never
of the
happened.
indictment.
They'll
You
love
shall
me.
consider it only as it relates to those issues. However, the defendant is not on trial for a crime, wrong, or act that is not included in the indictment. Statement inquiry ready.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Can you please introduce yourself to the jury?
I'm Infinity Dixon
And do you spell your first name with an I?
with the I, yes, ma'am.
And is Dixon Dixson?
Yes, ma'am.
Remaining of the time, I'll refer to you as ID, okay?
Yes, ma'am, that's fine.
And what is your date of birth?
January 7th, 2000.
And
What the-
where do you generally live now?
I live in Jackson, Tennessee.
And what do you do for a living?
I'm a correctional officer.
Uh-oh.
And how long have you been a correctional officer?
About a year or two.
I think a year or two combined.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you take a break in between?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but you're back at being a
Yes,
correctional
ma'am.
officer? Okay. Now, prior to living in the good state of Tennessee, did you live here in the good state of Florida?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And do you have relatives here in Florida,
Yes, ma'am.
and specifically in the Jacksonville, Duval County area?
Yes, ma'am.
And who would that be?
Well, my dad, my mom, I have aunts and cousins out here as well.
Now, who
That
is your
sound
dad
like
married
nice.
to?
Paula Dixon,
And who is Paula Dixon related to?
Naomi, and
Nah, that
Kimberly.
ain't no NM.
She has a few sisters. Did you want me to name them all?
No, that's all right.
That's one of the
But
sisters.
is one of her sisters Naomi Mobley?
Yes, ma'am.
And is one of her sister your stepmom, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And
Oh,
is your
stepmom.
stepmom related to Kimberly Mobley?
Yes, ma'am.
And then based upon the marriage of your dad and Miss Paula Dixon, are you cousins then with SS
Yes, ma'am.
and then IS,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
etc.?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
Okay,
you.
yes, ma'am. Now, did you always, let me ask you this, going back to 2017 time frame, 2018, did you live with your
Wow.
dad and your stepmom and family?
Yes.
Prior to that, did you live elsewhere?
Before I moved out here, I stayed with my mom in Jackson, Tennessee.
Okay. So is it fair to say that your whole high school tenure was not here in Jacksonville, Florida?
No, ma'am, just a senior year.
And that's what I was gonna ask you. You moved during your high school years?
Before the school year started, I did.
And what year did you graduate high school?
2018.
I figure she sound like
And
one of the
I
sisters.
believed you had moved here, you said prior to that school year?
Yes, ma'am.
And what high school did you go to?
Sandalwood High School.
Now, through moving here, did you become acquainted with your aunt Naomi Mobley's husband at the time?
Yes, ma'am.
And how did you meet him?
I met him outside of a hair store. I was getting reacquainted with my family out here, and he was introduced to me.
He ain't
by the
looking at
family.
her, y'all.
And
Now he is.
would you have been 17 at the time?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, would the family get together for various events, birthdays, barbecues, that type of thing?
Yes, ma'am.
And would you see the defendant at these family functions?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, back during this time frame, did you have a Snapchat account?
Yes, ma'am.
And did the defendant ask you for your Snapchat username?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you accept, did he send you a friend request?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, when I say he, I haven't asked you this yet, and I apologize. That's my fault, ma'am. Would you see the person that you know to be as Johnathan Quiles? Is that who was married to your aunt at the time, Naomi Mobley?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you recognize him if you saw him again?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you take a moment and look about the courtroom?
Yes, ma'am, I do see him.
Okay. Could you please state where he's located in the courtroom and then something he's wearing and give color if there is a color?
I believe that's a white shirt to my right in the front of the courtroom.
Does the person have glasses?
Yes, ma'am.
Is the person located at defense table?
Yes, ma'am.
And is the person Hispanic
Yes, ma'am.
or light skinned?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that a better phrase for
Yeah,
you?
that's
I don't want to
Come
put
on,
words in your mouth.
prosecutor.
Yes, ma'am, you're fine.
Okay. And is that Johnathan Quiles that you know to be?
Hey,
Okay. Is that who
young-
we're talking about?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You're gonna let the record reflect the witness has identified the defendant.
So reflected.
Okay. So did you accept his friend request on Snapchat?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Now, did the defendant communicate with you on Snapchat?
Yes, ma'am.
Did the defendant communicate with you in any other type of format?
I believe he FaceTimed me one time.
Lucy,
What
hey,
about
baby.
regular phone calls or regular texting?
No, it would always be on Snapchat.
And did the defendant ever tell you why he preferred Snapchat?
Well, he said the messages don't save on Snapchat, so he preferred Snapchat.
Look, y'all. We're gonna have to listen to her testimony. She's the first person that took the stand, did not call the name Michelle. She the first young lady. She the first person that went up there and didn't say, "Oh, he's sent by Michelle." By Michelle, that prosecutor know what she doing. She did not say, "Oh, she's sent by Michelle." Now that prosecutor over there cooking up something because she didn't say, "Oh, she said he over there with that white thing and wearing glasses." She just said he sent by the Michelle. She the only one that said Michelle name. Y'all better pay attention.
So the defendant liked the fact that messages were deleted instantly.
Yes, ma'am.
And is that fair to say that upon viewing a Snapchat message, does it delete afterwards?
Yes, if you don't save it.
So would you have to actively save that message and or picture in order for it to be preserved?
Correct.
Now, would the defendant send you messages? I think you stayed on Snapchat.
Yes, ma'am.
And what was your first impression of the defendant?
Initial impression, he seemed all right. I really didn't know much about him.
However, did the defendant start to ask you things that made you feel awkward?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you tell us about that?
Initially, he would just swipe up on my Snapchats and say, like, I look pretty or I look good. Then it would progress into I was sexy, beautiful, just out the way comments such as that, compliments.
Now, did you have any other uncles talking to you like that?
No, I didn't have any other uncles on Snapchat for that matter.
Okay. Is Snapchat usually something that you would talk with your friends on?
Yes.
Now, were you aware, personal knowledge, if the defendant was speaking with anyone else on Snapchat in your family?
Yes.
And who was that?
IS and SS.
Now, you had talked about the compliments. Did the defendant say anything else additionally to what you've already told us? And that was the pretty, sexy, beautiful. Did you say good looking too? Or did I
They just said I look good. I'm not sure.
look good? Thank you. Okay. I knew there was something good. Thank you,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Ah, he just
I'm
gonna
sorry
go
for
through
that.
the family.
Any other additional compliments that you can think of?
No, that's about it.
Okay. Now,
Kind of women y'all are.
did the compliments turn into something more in regards to the commentary from the defendant?
Only one conversation that we discussed in reference to like a condom.
Okay, so let me ask you, maybe I phrased my question wrong.
Right.
What's up,
At any
Leslie?
point in time in your Snapchat communication, did the defendant make the conversation in a sexual nature?
I mean, no, other than what I was just referencing about the condom, that's the only sexual nature it
Okay.
took.
So was there a conversation involving a condom?
Yes.
Okay. And
What?
can you tell us about that conversation involving a condom?
Right. It initially started with him asking, was I in a relationship, which I wasn't at the time. And he asked, was I a virgin? Had I had sexual intercourse with
What?
anybody at the time? And I told him that I had not yet done anything. And he had told me that
Where did this auntie get this man from? Where did this auntie get this man? Is this a criminal we dealing with, y'all? Are we dealing with a criminal, a runaway criminal? Where did auntie get this dude from? Boy, auntie, it wasn't nothing but his hair. His hair got the auntie the same way. Woo.
that if I wanted, I could come over. He could teach me how to apply a condom.
What?
And
Let me stop you there for just a second. And did you respond to these
Mine
questions?
too.
yes, I was answering them as we went along.
I'm sorry, what?
I was answering his questions as we went along in the conversation.
Okay. And
Ugly self. Let me stop.
did he invite you over after this conversation?
Like immediately after, or just in general?
In general?
Yes, yeah, he did.
Okay, and that's how you interpret it in general.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to make sure we do it how you felt and interpreted.
Right.
And did he say what the purpose for having you come over?
Are you speaking like immediately after the situation I'm referencing, or are you talking about another instance?
No, I'm talking about the condom situation.
No, he didn't invite me over immediately after that situation. This was a whole different situation.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, did the defendant want to teach you something?
Yes.
What did he want to teach you?
How to apply a condom.
What?
And what did that mean to you?
Well, he didn't give me another object that was to be used, so I just assumed it would be done on him.
What?
When you say done on him, meaning using his penis.
Yes, correct.
How did you feel about this conversation?
Thank you.
I felt definitely awkward and a little weird after we had that conversation.
And did you tell anybody?
No.
Did you eventually tell someone?
Yes.
Okay. And was it close in time to when this happened that you told someone
So what happened?
regarding the condom and him saying he'd teach you about that?
No, ma'am.
I told y'all about to bring a case to y'all.
And was there another time the defendant wanted you to come over?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us about that.
I was in band and I ended up having what they call a pseudo seizure. So I was bedridden for like a week or two. I stayed in my dad's house, and me and John had been messaging over Snapchat. He would check on me frequently to see if I was okay health-wise. And then one day he asked if I wanted to come over because my Aunt Naomi wasn't at home, and he would come pick me up in his van because I'd asked him would Naomi be okay with that. He was like, well, she's not here. And I told him, I really didn't feel good. It wasn't really nothing I could do. And he was like, well, it's fine. You could just come over here and rest, and I'll take care of you. And I just thought it was kind of weird because I kept telling him I was bedridden and really couldn't do anything.
And did you ultimately go over to the defendant's house?
No, I did not.
And is this when you had told somebody about this conversation?
Yes, I told my dad.
And after you told your dad, did the defendant and talk to you much after that?
Not really. I don't think I went around John too much after that. Like we took a little break, but then I think we went back around them.
Did you
So
want to keep your distance?
Yes.
She got them girls around him, and she just met them. Are you serious? She just met him on a dating line and married him, and them girls away. They're my daughters. Why my daughters not at home with their mama? Man, this family, y'all. This happened for real. It's real, reality.
Yes, of course.
Based upon what had happened?
Right.
No further questions.
Whew. Y'all got me rubbing my nose and everything. Look at her. There go Michelle.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right. Back in December of 2018, your cousin IS went missing, correct?
Correct.
And you talked to police at that time about what you may or may not have known about her whereabouts, correct?
Correct.
And following that conversation with police, I believe it was just one conversation essentially, correct?
Right.
Okay. They didn't question you extensively or anything
Not
like
at
that.
all. No, ma'am.
They basically just want to know, had you taken her anyway? Have you seen her?
Right. Yes, ma'am.
And you hadn't. So that was the end of that conversation.
Right.
After that time period where you talked to police, were you also getting updates and information from your family as to how things were going with finding IS?
No, ma'am.
So they never talked to you and said, hey, we've been looking for her, you know, we don't know where she is, that kind of thing. You weren't involved in that at all.
Not at all. Not after the initial.
All right. Did you ever keep in contact with your family as it relates to once Mr. Quiles was accused of having caused her disappearance?
No, because we wasn't really supposed to discuss it, so I didn't discuss that with them,
Okay.
other than how they were doing.
You never, I'm sorry, say the last part you said again?
I said I never discussed that with them, other than how they were doing once I went back home.
Okay, understood how they were doing. That's the part I missed.
Yes, ma'am.
So after that, did you learn about the accusations and eventually the charges against Mr. Quiles?
Yes, ma'am.
And that would have been right around that time, January 2019, correct?
I really don't know. It was sometime after that. for
Was it
sure.
shortly after IS went missing that you found out about the accusations and the charges against Mr. Quiles?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
And you may not have an exact day, and I'm not asking.
Yeah, I don't have. I wouldn't know if it was January or not for sure.
Right, but it was sometime shortly after. It wasn't a long period of time.
Right. No, it wasn't long. It wasn't too long. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Hold on one second.
Mhm.
Ma'am, just so the lady in front of me, the court reporter, she has to take down accurately what's being said. Just let her pause, finish the question. Excuse me, let her finish the question, pause for a second, then you can answer.
Right.
She has to take it down, and she can't take down two people talking at the same time.
Okay.
And so we get conversational, it happens. Nobody's fault, it's just the nature of it.
Right.
So just try to, and she'll do the same thing. You guys both kind of stepped over each other. Just try to take a breath on
Mammy,
each question,
go sit down.
answer it, and then let her ask another question.
Okay, that's fine.
All right,
And I'll do my best. I'm sorry.
Nah, it's probably my
definitely-
fault. Yeah.
We're doing it again right now.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Wow.
It's okay. So I'll slow down just a little bit. That way we can make sure I ask the question fully, and I will make sure to not speak until you're certainly done. Let me just ask you, I know you said it wasn't a long period of time, but you did learn about the accusations and the charges against Mr. Quiles.
Right.
Correct, right?
Right.
Okay. All right. Just trying to get us back to where we were before we had the little pause. So when you learned about that, at that point in time, did you reach out to police and give them this information about Snapchat and communications with him and some inappropriate conversations from your perspective?
No, ma'am. They actually reached out to me.
Okay. And when, if you can recall, I know you said you weren't the best with dates. Do you recall how long after these charges that you learned about Mr. Quiles, how long after police contacted you?
It was like a while after, because I was shocked they even contacted. It had been a minute since it happened.
Would June of 2022 sound about right?
I wouldn't give you a month, but the year sounds right. But I wouldn't be dead set on the month.
So like 3.5 years later,
Yes.
approximately.
Correct.
Okay. 3.5 years later, all of that time in between, you never reported this, never talked to police about this. That's correct?
Correct.
You mentioned that you had messages between the two of you all on Snapchat. You don't have those messages saved or anything along those lines, do you?
No, I don't.
Did you routinely save messages on Snapchat back then?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Would you describe it? I think you used a word at one point. I don't know if you said it during direct. It might be my memory from talking to you before, but you said something along the lines of you had a bad habit of saving messages, correct?
Correct.
And so did you in fact save messages between yourself and Mr. Quiles back in 2018 time period?
Correction. It would have been 2017 when me and Johnathan were communicating.
Okay, 2017 then.
Right. I initially did until you told me not to, so I stopped.
Before the time period that you stopped, when you were saving those were saved to your Snapchat account, correct?
Correct.
Okay. You don't have access to that at all, do you?
No, I had an old Gmail back then.
And that old Gmail, you don't have access to that anymore, so we can't verify or corroborate what you said through those messages.
Yeah, I don't have access to it at all.
Now, throughout the time period that you described, and let me just back up because I want to ask you about that. I know the dates, you might need to help me with that. You started your senior year August of 2017, presumably, correct?
Correct.
Okay. You said you moved to Florida shortly before that school year, so maybe in August, maybe July time period?
I started school in August, so it wouldn't have been August. So I would say like a month or so before.
Okay. So a month or so before in 2017, you moved to Florida, and then you began having these conversations on Snapchat with him immediately thereafter?
Well, I had to meet him first. So we met, and then the Mars started coming around the family. That's when we exchanged Snapchats and the conversation began.
Okay. And so those conversations you believe were exclusively within 2017, did not continue on into 2018?
Well, it had to be because I turned 18 in 2018. We no longer communicated.
Okay, so you turned 18. You said your birthday was in January, right?
January 7th.
7th. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
So January 7th, after that time period, you never contacted or spoke to him on Snapchat at all?
No, ma'am.
Okay, fair enough. As far as and I just want to go back and ask, because I know you've talked about how you don't have access to that account anymore because of your email. You don't have access to that email, which means you don't have access to your Snapchat, correct?
Correct.
That information was never asked about or anything along those lines in that time period. So June 2022, when you're asked about it, at that point, you can't do anything about going back and trying to get that information.
Correct. I can't personally.
And you're not aware if police have ever tried to recover any sort of messages or anything like that this late in, after it's happened?
If they did, I wasn't aware of it.
Now, I wanted to ask you just a couple of other questions because you talked about a couple of incidents, two in particular. One where you guys are having this conversation about virginity and applying a condom, and then the second that you mentioned about when you were sick and being invited over. So let me start with the first and kind of go through that.
We're not even looking at her.
When you were having this conversation, or after you guys had,
look at Johnathan, y'all. Johnathan ain't looking at her. Johnathan don't like her. Johnathan not even looking at her like he did that girl, like he did the sister. Look at him. He gonna look straight at the judge, straight at the police officer. See, the police officer was watching him. So when he look over him, the police will look at him. He ain't looking at her. He don't like her.
had this conversation. At the very end of that, you guys didn't continue on or have anything. You said there was no invitation in person or anything like that, or any contact in person, correct?
Are you referencing the condom incident?
Yes, I'm sorry. Let's start with that one.
Okay. No, I don't. He didn't invite me over that day.
Okay. So after that conversation, do you recall telling or relaying those messages to any of your family members?
No, not the condom incident. Only the compliment to my dad.
You specifically do not recall ever relaying those messages, the texting, inappropriate messages, to anyone in your family?
Are you specifically speaking about the condom incident?
I'm asking about the inappropriate messages that whatever you deemed inappropriate.
No power.
Oh no, I did speak to my father about the initial inappropriate messages, such as like the compliments and that part. But the condom incident, I didn't tell anybody about. Okay.
The condom incident was around that same time period when these other conversations are happening.
She don't know.
Around that time period, I don't really want to give you a set date. Like I said, it's been a while, so I couldn't really.
And we may only be talking about a few month time period if we're talking
right
after August. Sorry.
Michelle don't know her, y'all.
After August until you turn 18 in January. So we're really not talking a whole long period of time.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so it was in that time period, in that same time period that you all were having these other conversations.
Yeah, it's
Well, it would
8
have to have been,
people.
yes.
Okay. As far as you can
Hold
remember,
up,
you
hold up.
never
I know it's
showed
8
those.
people I see with thumbs up and 30-something watching. Come on, y'all. Y'all need to hit the like button. This ain't no easy job. Come on, y'all get over there in the man's chat and y'all hit 1,000 likes for them. Come on now. We got to look out for each other, women.
Messages to your dad or anybody else.
Correct.
This don't make no sense.
Have you ever said differently than what you're telling us today?
No, ma'am.
You gave a deposition.
I
I'm
would have
trying to get
told
the
my
date. Give me
daddy
one
too.
second.
I'm a daddy girl.
On September 21st, 2022. Do you recall that?
I know it, Lumi.
Not the date, but I'm sure the deposition I would remember.
You don't recall the date itself, but you do remember giving the deposition.
Right, correct.
All right. And I believe you have a
Y'all smash that like button if you
have
haven't go out and come back
red
in.
booklet in front of you. Do you see that there and near you?
The binder?
Yes. I said booklet, didn't I? Binder. I apologize.
No worries.
Michelle
If you could
don't know
turn to
what-
tab 45, I believe it is.
I object to improper impeachment.
Sustained.
Today you claimed that you have not provided any different information other than just, we're going to hold off on that for just a second,
I'm
if you don't
sorry,
mind.
it's kinda-
Give me just 1 second.
Okay, I think this is as good as it's gonna get.
Thank you for giving me just a moment.
Shit, I
Sorry,
don't know
let me
what
just
to
get
do with
back
this
to
one.
where it was.
Thank you, Lucy. We got 23 smashed, but we got 32 watching. If y'all gonna watch, can y'all please smash the button? Let's look out for each other.
All right. Do you recall ever stating that you told and I quote, I told my dad, like, Johnathan has been texting me kind of weird stuff, and I think they stopped. Sorry, give me just 1 second. Strike that, please.
Yeah, she told my dad that. I tell my
Pulling from the
dad
wrong one, I
everything.
apologize. Give me just 1 second.
Tell my dad everything. Sure do. Yeah, I told y'all I'm gonna bring a case to y'all.
Okay, sorry. I'm at line, just for council, I'm on page 26 at line 8.
I'm objecting again.
I'm just giving you all the,
I can't hear 5 people talking at the same time. I'm pretty smart, but not that smart. What's the objection?
Improper impeachment.
I haven't heard the question.
She's referring her to a page in the deposition.
What they talking about?
Members of the jury, let's go ahead and take our break.
Take another break. That's
3:06.
what
I'll
put
see
me
you
to
back at
sleep.
3:25.
No, we need to finish this out. Talking about a break. He ain't did nothing but turn bald head. He don't need no break. I told y'all I was gonna bring y'all another case. Woo-wee. This case right here make me gel my hair down. Where's Joanne at? Joanne the one told me to gel my hair down because I sure was gonna sew in. The judge going to get on the defense. Yeah, he gonna say something. Thank you. He showed a little head breaks. He put me to sleep today. I can't wait till I get Abdullah. You told me that on the same date, they hold on.
What are we trying to do?
Judge, I was telling Ms. Francis in the back that I wasn't correcting the witness to that line. I said.
You told me to Snapchat.
Are you trying to impeach the witness?
I will impeach her, yes, but I was trying to get to the quote that I wanted to.
That ain't said come and
What are you
share.
trying to impeach her on?
Specifically, he previously stated that she actually told her dad.
Sure do.
Started texting her the inappropriate messages.
Isn't that what she said?
Yes. Oh, sorry.
Isn't that what she said?
Well,
That's not what she said.
the weird stuff that he was saying, not. She stated that it was about him saying she was beautiful and things along those lines, but
I don't like Michelle.
stuff here, which would include that potentially.
But it could. It's not like she's saying red light and now green light.
No, it's
Thank
not that
you.
clear. That's
So how's it contradictory? That's what impeachment's supposed to be about.
No, I understand, Judge. I just when we
Listen to Michelle, y'all.
we actually go through.
Look, he don't like Michelle. Look at him. Michelle trying to confuse these people.
Judge, that's why I'm
Sure.
Give me a second.
I don't have the benefit of it, so it's
And I can just read the quote exactly. In the court, I can understand your position. I think maybe my interpretation of what she was saying was beautiful. I told him that weird stuff. I was thinking she meant the other stuff. So that may just
by the other stuff you mean the condom stuff.
Correct, because she described that as weird.
Yeah,
I
she
found that-
specifically said on the stand that she did not tell her dad about the condom stuff.
She
if I
sure
recall her
did.
testimony correctly.
Correct, and she does not have an exact quote within here that says, I told him about the condom stuff. So I understand the court saying that I cannot ask her about that.
I have a copy of the deposition if you would like to.
No, I think I got a pretty good idea of it. Is there anything else you want to lay on the record regarding this line of questioning?
No, the exact quote for the record was, I actually.
Get a judge.
First started texting me inappropriate messages. I told my dad, like, Johnathan has been texting me kind of weird stuff. That was the quote that I was going to use. Obviously, with some context and some background, I think that makes more sense for what she was saying, but it's not an exact quote opposite to, I told my dad about the condom stuff or not.
It doesn't have to be exact quote, it just has to be contradictory to each other.
Get a
Otherwise,
judge.
there's no foundation for improper impeachment.
Get a judge.
Based on the context, it is contradictory because she's talking about that particular time period in the context of it.
In context of the deposition?
Correct.
You're saying in the context of the deposition, she's referring to the condom when she says weird stuff.
So, and I'll just back up because I asked her, did you tell your dad at that time that, hey,
Listen to her.
interactions, and I really don't want to be around this guy? She said, yes, ma'am. I said, okay, what did your dad say to that at that point? She said, I actually told him when Johnathan had first started texting me the inappropriate messages. I told my dad, like, Johnathan has been texting me kind of weird stuff.
Listen to her.
I was going to ask her some additional questions as it relates to that. Now, just before that, we're talking about this very incident. So I think that's
Which one, the condom incident or the?
condom incident.
Get a judge.
So that's why.
So how do you know her answer is referring to the condom stuff and not general comments overall? And that's where a clear deposition is supposed to come into effect. So the
Get a
state's objection
judge.
is sustained on that regard. I'll sustain it in front of the jury. You can move on in that regard if you like. Okay. Anything else we need to handle?
Not from the state, Your Honor.
Who's your
Get a
next
judge.
Your Honor.
lead detective?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
That's going to be lengthy.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Told her off.
Based on what Mr. Skinner and I had talked about sidebar,
I'm fine. We're going to go.
what I was going to say is if the state wants to do the direct, and I cross-examine first thing in the morning, I'm willing to do that.
I'm
Michelle,
here as long as
Michelle, with that
don't worry
fam,
about what we talked about at the sidebar.
Michelle know the
We're getting this
family.
trial done. That's my main focus right now. So I'll see you guys back at, what did I say, 3:30?
Yes, sir.
I'll see you guys back at 3:30.
Yes, sir.
See,
Victoria's Secret's underwear and bra, and the defense.
To recover IS's
Abdullah.
phone.
No, I was not.
And so you were never able to do what's considered a cell dump of IS's phone.
No, I was not.
Abdullah, it's
And what about social media?
Yes, I did multiple
it's the
social media
Snapchat
accounts.
in this
Would
one?
that have involved Facebook?
Yes,
Would that have involved Instagram?
Hold on.
yes.
Abdullah is the Amutamola. What's hey baby. Amutala Tamula Abdullah. Yeah, okay. So it's on this one. So I can skip it, right? Okay, baby. I'm about to skip it. Also, is this it right here? You want me to leave it here? Okay, leave it here. They're gonna say it. Okay, leave it here. You want me to leave it here? Say yes or no, y'all. Say leave. You want me to leave it here? Okay, baby. Thank you.
And what about Snapchat?
Yes.
And whose documents were you doing search warrants for?
IS's documents, as well as Johnathan Quiles' documents.
And I know we had talked about also that Detective Porter had spoken to IS's close friends. Did you as well?
Yes, I did.
And had they ever heard from her post 12/19/2018?
No.
Now, though, in specifically in regards to some conversations with AV, were you told about an individual that was unknown with a number?
Yes, I was.
And that would be defense one. Do you recognize it?
Yes, I do.
And did Ms. Bay inform you about that information?
Yes,
And did you look into it?
I did.
And was there anything involved with that potential unknown individual in this case that you're aware of?
No.
Now, there was something also about that number, 904-661-7889.
Wow.
7889.
Whose number is that?
That's Stevie Griffin's, IS's little brother.
Now, were you contacted by Miss Kimberly Mobley on April 2nd, 2019?
Yes,
And based upon that phone conversation, did you go out to her residence?
I did.
And did you have a crime scene detective come out?
Yes.
And what items did you have collected at that time?
A pill bottle of Don Quay and a pill bottle of parsley.
And did you also ask Dr. Thomas to review those items and what those items mean?
Yes.
Now, did you meet with SS again on April the 4th, 2019?
Yes.
And did you want to speak with her about what she knew or did not know in regards to IS?
Yes.
And did you obtain some additional information?
I did.
And then in regards to those unique Victoria's Secret underwear, was Victoria's Secret contacted?
Yes.
And did you learn if those underwear had come from a certain collection?
Yes, the 2017 collection.
And then also, did you inquire with Naomi Mobley about the Donquay and parsley?
I did.
And did she provide you some information about the Donquay and parsley?
She did.
Based upon speaking with her, did you then do some further either search warrants or subpoenas for information?
I did.
Did that involve Amazon?
Yes,
Did that involve Wells Fargo banking records?
it did.
Was the Wells Fargo banking records for who?
That was for Johnathan Quiles and Naomi Mobley.
And then whose Amazon records did you inquire?
It was theirs as well.
When you say theirs,
It's Naomi Mobley and Johnathan Quiles.
thank you, sir. And did you get that information back?
Yes,
And did you review it?
I did.
Now, in regards to the Amazon information, did you also get some information for Naomi Quiles regarding that?
Yes.
Now, I know the print is a little bit small, but in states 58, it's a blow up, but do you recognize it?
Yes, I do.
And what are you looking at?
These are the computer screenshots that she took of their Amazon list.
What are the dates?
October 7th, 2017 and October 4th, 2017.
Was there something in particular that was ordered on October the 4th, 2017 on the defendant and his wife's Amazon account?
Yes.
And what was that?
Donquay and parsley.
I think it's Donquay.
Yes.
And then on the other date,
It's the parsley.
okay, you want to make sure it's accurate.
Yes. It's so small. Yes, the parsley was on October 4th, 2017. And on October 7th, it was Nature's Way Donquay route.
Thank you, sir.
Now, where are going on with this thing?
You're on permission to pass around due to the font.
Sure.
Yes, you did, sweet Capricorn. Yes, you did. We talked about that the other day. You know about the pills. We talked about that. Miss Anita, thank you. Baby, I'll do anything for y'all because y'all had me up. I was trying to keep my eyes open. Oh, that's so sweet. I thank you for the super chat. I appreciate anything, y'all. It's for me in part. Go to YouTube. It's okay. I appreciate it. Oh. It's hard work, boy. It's work. I'm not choicy. Wait, y'all. Let me get my thing to put on my head. Hold on for a minute. Thank you for the super chat. Okay. Now, what they doing now? I don't want to do all that. I know. Just okay. I'm gonna scroll it. Hold on.
Then upon review of the Wells Fargo records and states 59, were you able to ascertain whether or not these purchases were made from the defendant and his wife's, Naomi Mobley's, Wells Fargo account?
Yes, I was.
I ain't in a hurry. I ain't got nowhere to go.
Now, and throughout the course of this investigation, are you also sending additional items to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement?
I am.
And so you're the one that, are you
Like
the
to get
one
the
that
whole
makes the
thing.
determination of what goes to the lab?
Yes.
And in this
Okay,
case, did you
baby,
send
I will.
anything possible for DNA testing?
Sent a lot of things.
Here I
for
go.
DNA.
And that involved the landfill, the firearm, things like that?
Yes.
Hold on, y'all. Here I go. Here you go.
Click on here for pictures, here for videos, here for messages, here for locations. It's all the calendar, the cookies, everything is listed off to the left-hand side when it sorts it and breaks it down.
So when we're looking to the left side, is that kind of like our barcode
Yeah,
of
Dula, this a good
information that we
spot?
can look into?
Yes.
So if it says call log, we can actually go and click on the call log. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And in fact, even like in the table search, can we put in some numbers and will it do a search for us?
It will.
So if we put in beginning numbers of 347, is that a New York area code?
Yes.
Okay,
And
baby.
in fact, I hadn't asked you yet, sir, and I apologize. And when we're seeing the number 347 652 2394, were you able to determine whose phone number that was
Yes.
and whose number?
Joseph Quiles.
So when we're looking here at under the call log, and I put in 347, does it then bring up every individual that has the beginning of 347?
Yes, it does.
Now, Detective Abbott, if I wanted to go and look at the dates of this call log, where would I go?
Scroll to the right.
Okay. Now with these, because it says UTC plus 0, does that mean that the times indicated are in Eastern Standard Time?
Yes and no. It's in UTC time. That's coordinated universal time is what it means. It's going to be 5 hours or 4 hours off of Eastern Standard Time, depending on if we're in daylight savings time or not. It's kind of like a worldwide standard that most of your cell phone companies use. Social media uses that. Everything that we get from these companies is always in this coordinated universal time, UTC.
Now, was there something of note during your review that you recognized in these records?
Yes.
And what was that?
There was approximately 2 years of data missing.
Okay, and should I continue to scroll down?
Yes.
Okay.
Scroll down to December 20th, 2018.
Okay. So I've gone where we said December 20th, 2018, 8/28/09. And then what's the entry before that, Detective Abbott?
12/8/2016.
So is that where you were stating that the year 2017 and then the year 28 going up to 12/20 is not in these records?
Correct.
And these are the records, again, taken directly from the cell phone?
Correct. And if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see that 2016 appears to be somewhat intact. I mean, it starts on 12/6, but it's the end of 2016
Yeah,
and then
Abdul.
skips straight to December 20th, 2018 from the 8th of December.
Now, in regards to text messages, did you look to see if there was any communication with anyone regarding the December 19th, December 20th target time?
Yes, ma'am. I looked at every tab in this phone.
Now, would I go under the MMS or the SMS?
SMS.
Okay. Now, is there, I believe if I scroll to the right, is that where we actually see the body of the information?
Yes.
Okay. And then is it also indicative of who sent and who received?
Yes.
And did you find some text messages between the defendant and his brother?
Yes.
Look at the date.
Here it come, Abdul.
Now, did you notice anything about the dates here?
They also skip from 2016 to 2018.
Let me scroll up for a moment here. So is it fair to say that we go from December 22nd, 26/57/09 to 12/20/2018, 8/28/40?
Yes.
Were you able to find any information in regards to 12/19/2018 in the cell dump?
No.
I believe we're also able to do a search as well.
I think I did.
Now,
this.
did you find some text messages in relation to Joseph calling the sheriff's office
I did.
in regards to the defendant's reactions?
Yes.
Do you know the approximate date for us to start?
Start around the 5th of January.
And I think, is there another way?
See, that brother. See, one thing about the brother was locked up. The brother didn't do this. The brother said he told the brother did a wire and said that I know my brother, when he got out of jail, he said, I know my brother didn't do this. He wouldn't do nothing like this. But he was locked up during the time. So he definitely didn't do it. Okay, okay, here you go. Okay. Oh. Hold on, y'all.
that we can view these messages?
If you want to completely type in his full number of 347-652-3294, it'll just be his stuff and it'll kind of separate it out that way.
Okay. Was a way, no way to,
So off to the side, on the far right side where it says SMS,
yes.
you can see the message within there as well. Yeah, just like
But it's okay. The brother, but see, Bella, the brother was locked up too. The brother been locked up too. And when the brother got out, he said that he know his brother didn't do this. Right? He said, I know my brother didn't do this. Yeah, the inmate said it too. But the brother was out of jail. The brother a troublemaker too. Yeah, the inmate said, thank you, baby. Yeah, I might be right. I don't know.
that.
Just like that. Okay. All right. Let's go. And you said around, okay. Did you say start about the January 5th? I don't see
Okay.
him January 5th. So would that be January 6th?
Yes.
Okay. And who is this message from?
Okay.
This
Okay,
is from
Bella.
Joe,
I'm sorry?
from Joseph Quiles.
Okay. And what does it say?
Yo, you good?
Okay. And next?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you? Said, I'm good, just chilling.
And do you mind just saying the date and time that's indicated on the record, please, sir? And I apologize. That's my fault for not asking you to do that.
Yeah, this one, I'm good, just chilling, is January 6, 2019, 1:15. January 6, 2019, cool, to Joe. The 7th, January 7th, 2019, to Joe. Yo, you okay, bro?
Don't get confused. Don't get confused. I can have it wrong. Don't get confused, sweetie. His brother, I probably thought his brother was locked up when he was talking. The brother made a phone call and said that he said that my brother didn't do this. I did the report on it. My brother didn't do this. I know he did, but I thought he was locked up. So they are right. Don't get confused, baby. They right. Bella and Adu are right. They are right. I thought he was locked up, but I didn't get him confused with the inmates. Okay? Don't get confused. I don't want to get you confused. Okay? You all right now, sweet?
And the 8th, on the 8th at 2019, from Joe. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm about to pray.
And on this date,
Okay. I took it back because my phone caught my internet. I ain't do the internet right. I don't like to confuse nobody. I can be I'm not Miss Right. Oh wow. Come on now. Come on now. Let's see. I know. Let me see. Hold on, dude. I got it.
Yes, I did.
and who did you speak with?
It was Johnathan Lindros.
And did Mr. Lindros provide you something?
Yes, he did.
And what did he provide you?
He provided me with a aerial Google map.
You right,
It's,
Bella.
the satellite image
Belly.
of their property that had been given to him by Mr. Quiles, Johnathan Quiles, where he had took it upon himself to walk the entire circumference of the property and to make a note where all the holes in the fences were. And he let him know that he went ahead and fixed all the holes so that people couldn't sneak into the property.
Now, did you also retrieve the defendant's cell phone during his arrest?
Yes,
Did you do a search warrant of that cell phone?
I did.
And when you reviewed the cell phone data, did you find that map that the defendant had provided to Johnathan Lindros?
Yes,
Had the defendant sent that image to Johnathan Lindros in a text message?
yes,
Now, was a decision made to travel somewhere?
yes.
And where was that?
New York City
And why?
to speak with Joseph Quiles.
And did you speak with him?
Yes, I did.
And was it in regards to what he had called JSO for earlier, a few days before?
Yes,
Now, at some point, did the topic of gun gallery come out?
it did.
And did that come from The Wire?
It did.
Now, did someone go out to the gun gallery?
Yes, I asked my sergeant to go out there.
And did you receive any items from gun gallery?
Yes,
Did you review it?
yes.
And what did you observe on that item?
It was a sign-in sheet from December 20th, 2018 with Mr. Quiles' signature and printed name.
And is gun gallery located off of Beach Boulevard?
Yes,
Now, drawing your attention back to Otis Road landfill, was a decision made by the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office to do a search there?
yes,
And I'm not going to ask you a lot of questions. We've had other witnesses talk about it. However, did the search go on for 16 actual search days?
yes.
However, IS was not found, was she?
Her body was not found, no.
But were there other items indicative potentially of IS?
Yes,
Was that just based upon information you had been provided
yes,
involving potentially that 38 pair of Victoria's Secret panties the defendant had told you about?
correct.
Did you find a Terry Parker book?
I did.
Now, were you there when the canine Detective King was there at the landfill?
Yes,
And did you see alerts as well during that time frame?
I did.
Did you ever see the vultures as well?
I did. They were there almost every day.
Now, after confirming that the defendant had gone to the gun gallery on December 20th, 2018, did you investigate whether or not a firearm existed?
Yes.
And what did you find out in regards to a firearm?
I learned that the defendant owned a firearm, a 9mm,
No,
that
I
was
didn't
still
go
in his
past
home
it.
at 528 Trot
I
River
went
Drive.
back.
And was this confirmed with Naomi?
Yes.
And whose number? Donquay.
Yes.
And then on the other date,
It's the parsley.
okay, you want to make sure it's accurate.
Yes. It's so small.
I'm good.
Yes. The
Abdul,
parsley was on October 4th, 2017. And
Abdul,
on
this
October
is good.
7th, it was Nature's Way Donquay route.
Move up.
You're on permission to pass around due to the font.
Sure.
Is this okay? They don't like that prosecutor.
And whose number? Now, and throughout the course of this investigation, are you also sending additional items to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement?
I am.
And so you're the one that, are you the also obtain DNA known samples from the
Daylight savings time or not. It's kind of like a worldwide standard that most of your cell phone companies use. Social media uses that. Everything that we get from these companies is always in this coordinated universal time, UTC.
Now, was there something of note during your review that you recognized in these records?
Yes.
And what was that?
There was approximately 2 years of data missing.
Okay, and should I continue to scroll down?
Yes.
Okay.
Scroll down to December 20th, 2018.
Okay. So I've gone where we said December 20th, 2018, 8/28/09. And then what's the entry before that, Detective Abbott?
12/8/2016.
So is that where you were stating that the year 2017 and then the year 28 going up to 12/20 is not in these records?
Correct.
And these are the records, again, taken directly from the cell phone?
Correct. And if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see that 2016 appears to be somewhat intact. I mean, it starts on 12/6, but it's the end of 2016 and then skips straight to December 20th, 2018 from the 8th of December.
Now, in regards to text messages, did you look to see if there was any communication with anyone regarding the December 19th, December 20th target time?
Yes, ma'am. I looked at every tab in this phone.
Now, would I go under the MMS or the SMS?
SMS.
Okay. Now, is there, I believe if I scroll to the right, is that where we actually see the body of the information?
Yes.
And then is it also indicative of who sent and who received?
Yes.
And did you find some text messages between the defendant and his brother?
Yes.
Look at the dates here. Now, did you notice anything about the dates here?
They also skip from 2016 to 2018.
Let me scroll up for a moment here. So is it fair to say that we go from December 22nd, 2016, 9/57/09 to 12/20/2018, 8/28/40?
Yes.
Were you able to find any information in regards to 12/19/2018 in the cell dump?
No.
I believe we're also able to do a search as well. Now, did you find some text messages in relation to Joseph calling the sheriff's office
I did.
in regards to the defendant's reactions?
Yes.
Do you know the approximate date for us to start?
Start around the 5th of January.
And I think, is there another way that we can view these messages?
If you want to completely type in his full number of 347-652-3294, it'll just be his stuff and it'll kind of separate it out that way.
Okay. There's a way, no way to
So Off to the side, on the far right side where it says SMS,
Yes.
you can see the message within there as well. Yeah, just like that.
Just like that. Okay. All right. Let's go. And you said around. Okay. Did you say start about the January 5th? I don't see anything January 5th. So would that be January 6th?
Yes.
Okay. And who is this message from?
This is from Joe,
I'm sorry.
from Joseph Quiles.
Okay. And what does it say?
Yo, you good?
Okay. And next?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you? Said, I'm good, just chilling.
And do you mind just saying the date and time that's indicated on the record, please, sir? And I apologize. That's my fault for not asking you to do that.
Yeah, this one, I'm good, just chilling, is January 6, 2019, 1:15. January 6, 2019, cool, to Joe. The 7th, January 7th, 2019, to Joe. Yo, you okay, bro? And the 8th, on the 8th of 2019, from Joe. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm about to pray.
And on this date, would that have then been 7:33:20 a.m. in Eastern Standard Time?
Yes,
And that's the same day that you spoke with Joseph Quiles. Is that fair to say?
correct. So this is January 8, 2019, 12:45, to Joe. Okay, good, man. You got me beyond stressed over here. And January 8, 2019, to Joe. Look at what I found.
And let me go ahead and, okay, go ahead, sir.
And this is January 8, 2019, to Joe. You can't even talk to me, really. I never did anything to you, to that girl. And now you put me through this and you call me your brother. You're right. After this is over, I'm all the way done with you. You're a real piece of
What?
shit for what you've done.
Wait a minute. Why he mad at his brother? Cause his brother ain't said nothing. Hold up. His brother ain't even did nothing to him. He got an attitude problem. His brother didn't even say nothing to him. Linda, come on now, be professional. We don't need to know your business. We don't need to know your business now. Let's stay on the case. Now, his brother didn't even say nothing wrong. He did say it played the brother about, but they didn't even say nothing. The brother didn't say nothing wrong.
Start around the 5th of January.
And I think, is there another way that we can view these messages?
If you want to completely type in his full number of 347-652-3294,
See, the brother
it'll just be his stuff and it'll kind of separate it out that way.
Okay. Oh, is there a way, no way to,
So off to the side, on the far right side where it says SMS,
yes.
you can see the message within there as well. Yeah, just like that.
Just like that. Okay. All right. Let's go. And you said around, okay. Did you say start about the January 5th? I don't see anything January 5th. So would that be January 6th?
Yes.
Okay. And who is this message from?
This is from Joe,
I'm sorry?
from Joseph Quiles.
Okay. And what does it say?
Yo, you good?
Okay. And next?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you? Said, I'm good, just chilling.
And do you mind just saying the date and time that's indicated on the record, please, sir? And I apologize. That's my fault for not asking you to do that.
Yeah, this one, I'm good, just chilling, is January 6, 2019, 1:15. January 6, 2019, cool, to Joe. The 7th, January 7th, 2019, to Joe. Yo, you okay, bro? And the 8th, on the 8th of 2019, from Joe. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm about to pray.
And on this date, would that have then been 7:33:20 a.m. in Eastern Standard Time?
Yes,
And that's the same day that you spoke with Joseph Quiles. Is that fair to say?
correct. So this is January 8th, 2019, 12:45, to Joe. Okay, good, man. You got me beyond stressed over here. And January 8th, 2019, to Joe. Look at what I found.
And let me go ahead and, okay, go ahead, sir.
And this is January 8th, 2019, to Joe. You can't even talk to me, really. I never did anything to you, to that girl. And now you put me through this and you call me your brother. You're right. After this is over, I'm all the way done with you. You're a real piece of shit for what you've done.
Okay.
And this is from Joe on January 8th, 2019. I can't talk to you right now. I have to stay firm on my decision. What you told me isn't a joke or something.
Make sure you say the exact words, please, for the record.
Okay. What you told me isn't some joke or something you like about. So yes, I told the police because they need to know. If you was lying, then you will be cleared and free. But if you wasn't, then you won't. I'm sorry I have to do the right thing for that girl and her family, not the right thing for you and your selfishness.
There
I
you
hate
go.
to lose you, but I'd rather that girl's family have some peace.
There
If
you
you're
go.
innocent, then you don't need to worry they won't find her body. But if you're not, they're going to find her. And in that case, I've already lost my
Hey,
brother.
baby.
I'm sorry.
Now, there are also some photographs.
Whoa,
as
that
well
right there
on
was
this
a
record,
lot said. Hold up.
like some images.
Yes.
And where would I go on the
Hold
tab
up.
system for
We
that?
got to talk about that. We can't just run through this. We can't run through all of this. Y'all stay focused on the case. We ain't worried about nothing else. Johnathan told him he did it. Johnathan did tell him he did it. And get mad at his brother. Called the police January the 8th that Johnathan killed the girl. That is not snitching. That's true. Johnathan did say that. Johnathan did. What's up, Joanne? Wow. But see, his brother told him. But then his brother said on another phone call that he don't believe he did that. Wow, man. Johnathan. Uh-oh. Whoo-wee. Whew. This some real stuff.
Yeah, the images.
Images, correct.
Okay.
Now, was there some images of IS and SS and NQ at the beach?
Yes.
And I think here, is this some images of the defendant, and they don't come out and then the resolution of the defendant and IS?
Yes.
I do too.
And just for record purposes,
But
did I
Sonya,
blow up
I
an
do
image
too.
where the defendant is touching head to head with IS?
Yes, you did.
One second.
That boy ain't no good, boy.
Now, does
Boy,
the defendant also
that
have
Johnathan
an
need to
image
go
of
to jail.
IS's flyer?
Yes, one of the flyers.
I know it's blurry as we get bigger, but is this a portion of IS's missing person flyer?
Yes.
And then is this another version of IS's missing flyer where there's a larger image of IS?
I know, don't put
Yes.
the SEX, just say S. I can't show that. Just put the abbreviation.
And there, again, do we see another image with IS's? It's black, red, and white.
Yes.
There
There's
you go,
some
baby.
images from
Thank
Ace
you.
Pick Apart,
Yes.
and then images of family members, other family members as well, including his wife at the time, Naomi.
Yes.
Bear with me for just a moment.
Yeah, sweet.
Is that some pictures of the defendant and his wife?
Yes.
Now, I had mentioned some beach images. Is this a beach image of SS and then defendant's
Look
younger
at that
daughter?
baby, y'all. They were
Yes,
young.
it is.
And I'm showing you another beach image.
Them
And
babies
is
were
that involve
young.
IS, SS, and then defendant's daughter NQ?
Yes.
He sure did, Joanne. Thank you.
I'm almost done with the images. I appreciate the patience. Now, will the defendant also take pictures of himself at Ace Pick Apart?
He did.
And in this, and I guess it's 115448, is this a picture of the defendant wearing his
He ain't even cute.
clothing that he would wear to Ace Pick Apart?
Yes.
Judge, I'm gonna object. That's cause for speculation.
He ain't cute to me. He just got nice hair.
I see an objection. Legal basis.
Them babies were little. That man
Now, was
sick.
there also two other images of IS?
Yes.
And this is 150125 image for the record.
Thank you.
And could you describe this image?
This is a picture of IS sticking keys into a door to
Yeah.
unlock it, wearing, I think that's a jean jacket draped over her shoulder,
And what color is her shirt?
yellow.
They
And
being
at the
adult.
bottom, does it state a date associated with this picture?
8/17/2018.
And is there another image of IS wearing the same clothing?
Yes.
And what is the date of this image?
It's 8/17/2018.
And just for record purposes, this is 150.
What's up, Demon?
6. Now, Detective Abbott, did you also review the cell records?
I did.
And were the cell records, was there
So they-
data
you're
between
right,
the
Ms. Thompson.
2017 and up through December 20th, 2018?
Yes.
So that's inconsistent with what's on the cell phone.
Correct.
Oh, there's one more thing. I'm sorry. I wanted to, I apologize. One last thing. Let's go back to the text messages. And
Woo-wee. I'm ready to eat, boy.
is there a way also to do by name?
Yes.
Wanted to pull up. Sorry. Now, Johnathan Ace Pick, is that where you found an image in regards to the map?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see here. Do you remember the date?
I do not recall the date, but it was on the phone.
Is there a way to see if there's an image associated with the message?
Yes.
Which way should I go?
These look like, okay, these are messages. So right through the center, do you see where it says export? And you go down, you
What?
see an X. There should be like somewhere through the middle next to the phone in, phone out symbol. You'll see what looks like a paper clip to
Serious?
indicate an attachment.
Okay. And where would that be? Am I looking at the right part of the screen?
Yeah, it should be right dead center. At least that's how it appears in the newer version of this cell phone.
I see it.
This is an old version of the reader that
Is it
we
fair
had.
to say that we don't see one?
No, we did not see one.
What? I can understand it.
Now, if you click picture, like if you go line by line off on the right-hand side where you also see pick Johnathan Ace, no motor, okay, the image will pop up on that side as well if there's an image located in it.
All right.
Y'all ain't even had no dinner yet. I came in here for y'all. Y'all need to, hey, fill that super chat
Let me know,
up
Detective,
and
if
hit
you
them
see
likes
it.
button.
Okay.
I ain't even had dinner. Y'all don't care nothing about the women.
I did not see it, Detective.
I did not see it either.
But had you previously seen it?
I feel like I did.
Let me check one more location, and then we'll move
Oh,
on.
wait, come on, y'all. I'm hungry. I want to see these text messages.
For record purposes, I've gone on under the MMS. We'll just go through each one, and then we'll move on.
I do see attachments on the far right under these.
Uh-oh.
There it is.
All right. Is there a way to make this bigger?
Scroll down and just click on the image itself.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Is this what you were referring to?
Yes.
And this looks like it's 154585922268880 picture. And let's look at, can you tell us what date and time?
That's 12/26/2018,
Would that be
9/21.
would that be approximately 3:21 in the afternoon?
Yes.
All right. So moving on past those records, did you also then receive some Snapchat messages back?
I did.
Okay. And before we get to those, when you arrested the defendant, part of that information is the defendant's date of birth.
Yes.
And what is the defendant's date of birth?
April 18th, 1985.
Okay. All right. So in regards to the Snapchat messages, did you obtain the defendant's Snapchat account?
Yes,
Did you review it?
I did.
And was there anything of concern from those messages?
Not really.
Did you obtain the Snapchat account of Samaya Sawyer?
No,
And let me ask, but did another detective?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. And was the defendant's Snapchat account associated with his name?
Yes,
Being was it Johnathan Jacob or Johnathan Quiles?
Johnathan Quiles.
Now, did IS have Snapchat accounts?
Yes,
And does she have more than one associated with her?
she did.
And what were they?
Princess 40046, Yana 0906, and an XS.Yana.
Now, were you able to receive records back from all three of those accounts?
Yes,
Was there anything that involved this case in the Yana 0906 Snapchat account?
no,
What about the XS Yana?
Yes.
What about the Princess 404.6?
Yes.
Now, upon your review of XS Yana and Princess 446, did you learn that those two accounts were speaking to each other?
That's what it appeared. Yes.
Now, did you obtain, when you looked at XS Yana, did you compare it then to Princess 404.6?
I did.
And did they have the same data from August 2018 through December 2018?
Yes.
Did you review those?
Yes.
And when I say the dates, did XS Yana have from August forward?
Yes.
Did Princess 404.6 have from February 2018 forward?
Correct.
Now, was a program as well used on these items for a viewer-friendly viewing?
Yes.
And was there two different ones used for each account based upon what was available at JSO?
Yes. The first time we used the Cellbrite program, and next we used the Oxygen Forensics program.
And are you also able to print out chats that occur between accounts?
Yes. When it initially comes to you, it's in an Excel spreadsheet format. It's very difficult to read, which is why we have it converted. But when it's in this program like this, instead of going line by line to look at the chat, you can click on the particular message, hit export, and it will put it in bubble format like you're reading a text message.
And in regards to items, if we look out the printouts, and I believe states 63 is the Snapchat records of XS Yana, were those done in the Oxygen program?
Yes.
And if we're looking at the printout from the Oxygen program, we cannot see images. Is that fair to say?
That is fair to say.
However, in a printout of Cellbrite, we can see small screenshots of those images.
Yes.
However, we can't obviously make them bigger, can we?
No.
Can we do that though on the disk?
Yes.
And then in state 64, Princess 404.6, did you review those in the images?
Yes.
And was that information in regards to the IS case that we're here for today?
Yes, it was.
And based upon the content, are those communications between the defendant and IS?
Yes.
Objection, speculation.
Sustained.
So now I'm going to show you what is marked as states 64. And what are we looking at in state 64?
Your Honor, just based on your sustaining, can you give a curative instruction to the jury, please?
No, sir. You may continue, State.
Yes, sir, Your Honor. So what are we looking at in state 64?
These are the messages from Snapchat.
And who are they involving?
This is Yana.
Here, and I'll do this just for a moment so you can, I'll scroll up. And who are they between?
Well, right now, the only ones I see is Yana
Okay.
in green.
Hold on 1 second. Let me make this. I made it bigger. Okay, let me get it down just a second. So just say Yana.
Yes, with a heart and some other emoji. This, I believe, is going to be the Princess 40046 program.
Here, let me go back here. Get you some, go to the welcome. Okay. You tell us what records these involve.
So this is case 18-866-278, and it's extraction number 2. The URL, Snapchat warrant return Princess 40046.
Okay, so are we looking at the Snapchat records that you received from Snapchat for the account of Princess 40046?
Yes.
Okay. Now, we're going to pull up a timeline. I have it highlighted. And who are those messages going to be between?
So The one that's
regarding the names here on the account.
correct. The highlighted portion says from Princess 40046 to Ya, and then to excess.yana.
And so upon your review, are these messages between the accounts of Princess 40046 and Excess Yana?
Correct.
And is Princess 40046 associated, and I know we can only see YA, but is it Yana?
Yes.
So then when we go to the actual chats between these two messages, is that why we are then seeing Yana?
Correct.
And I've obviously highlighted the full name. Did you read that for the record?
Princess 40046.yana heart, and it's a face emoji.
And so does that mean that the individual using Princess 40046 is the one sending the message?
Yes.
Now, when we see just Princess 40046 and we do not see anything below, what does that indicate?
You're only seeing one half of the conversation.
And are you familiar with Snapchat?
Yes.
And what happens if you don't save a message on Snapchat?
If you don't save a message on Snapchat, it goes away.
Okay, they said it, Belly.
And so would these messages then had to have been saved?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to draw your attention starting out with April 29th, 2018. Could you, and 1:00:39 p.m., could you please read it?
Okay. I love kissing you. Just after I found out about the boy, it turned me off about a lot of things, but I'm working on it. Yes, I'm trying. It just be so good. I last like less than a minute. I never took advantage of you, never. You broke my heart when you compared me to him. You're not just a piece of meat to me, like you said. I actually love you. I broke his heart. I was blindsided. You left me hanging. %2C. You played me. He thinks I'm still messing with him.
And next?
The next is a couple of images.
And the first message just appears to be an audio.
So was.
It should be a video.
Wow. Woo-wee. I don't even feel no parents in this thing.
And there's no audio, is that fair to say?
Yes.
Ooh, Lord, boy, I'm hungry. I'm ready to eat.
And what is depicted in the image?
It's a younger girl taking videos of herself.
And he just looking at it. Why we can't look at it? Ooh, wait.
Second image is
What kind of,
Next
what's
image then,
going on
of
with
what?
this family?
It's screen recorded. This is how it starts off. When you, on an iPhone, you drop it down. These are different options that you can quickly access. Lower left side, you see the red circle with the red dot next to the yellow battery symbol. That's where you click to turn your screen records off and on.
And were this video and this image associated with May 4, 2018, 12:43:19 a.m.?
Yes.
It's quite sensitive. Okay, and next, could you please tell us the date and time?
On 5/29/2018, 9/17, show love to my V%2C Spanish speaking %.
No, make sure you read accurately.
Okay. Show love to my V%2C Spanish spanking %2C. He's going to do candles for me.
And the next message, please.
It's 7/7/2018, 4/29. It's a couple of different images.
Are you sure it says 429?
4/27.
Thank you, sir. Click on the top image. And is this an image or a video?
It's a video
Sorry,
with sound.
so sorry. I apologize to everybody.
I don't want you say what you do. When I'm alone, I'd rather be with you.
He liking that video.
Detective Abbott, did that video appear to be a couple?
Yes, different couples of different races.
And then the second one, could you describe is this an image or a video?
This is an image. And
And if you could please describe.
it's a white female with her tongue sticking out, holding on to a man's face who's kissing her cheek.
Hey, how much longer do you have?
This is through this, Your Honor, and that we have to it's July and we've got to get through to December.
Give me a time.
I would say 15 minutes because I'm going obviously pretty fast here.
Look,
And then I'll
Judge,
be done.
done with that stuff, man.
Is that okay?
Sure.
Yes, sir.
the
If you
judge
could please tell us the
mad,
next
yeah.
date and time.
7/7/2018, 4/27.
If you could please read it.
Maya told Uncle John one of your gay friends tried to get fresh with her. Maya tried to give Rodrika your perfume for her birthday. She lost the pink Seminoles jacket and only got the pants. Maya still used Snapchat to text Uncle John.
And could you please tell us the date and time of the next message?
7/8/2018, 1:05. It's not like you stopped. I can't believe I trusted you even when I knew you was full of shit with me. Never again. Yeah, I can unclaim your being a hoe and just deal with that hoe that don't give two shits about you. I won't be surprised if he ain't fucking all of your friends and your sister. But that's who you choose over me.
What?
Fuck it. Keep it. I hope he treats you better than me. Bye. Don't bother to hit me up if it's not something seriously wrong or important. %2C. I don't want to chat with you just because or talk on the phone just because. No more. Go back to doing that with him. Oh, I forgot you already do. I'm done with you. I hope it was worth it. You officially have broke my heart, Ayana, and I will never forget it.
And could you please read the next message starting with the date and time?
7/8/2018,
Oh,
1:06.
Saying all that. Like
You really just be fucking annoying the hell out of me with your bullshit. You think I'm down with these mind games? Whatever makes you feel better about yourself, I'm good, so you can keep it.
And could you please read the next message starting with date and time?
7/8/2018, 6:09. Meaning your stories didn't make any sense, but I pushed it to the side and said, I trust my baby. She won't do me like that. Then when you said what you did, it just made so much sense how you gotten better. But it don't matter no more. I'm good. I'm not going to be with you never again. I don't know what you thought when you thought I would have been just like, oh, stop playing once you told me what you had done. I just can't trust you, so I'm not going to invest any more feelings in you. I hope this one's I got goes away soon because I'm really depressed and I hate it.
And the next one, please.
7/13/2018, 8:49.
And what is it?
It's an image of two guys. It's a video of two guys.
Okay, I'm just going to fast forward it so to save time. So it's just it's two guys and there's volume associated with it as well.
Okay,
Is that fair for the record?
that is fair.
Okay, we'll move on past that. And next, could you tell us what we're looking at?
This is an image, I believe.
Okay, and what's the date and time, sir?
7/30, 2018, 8:42.
And what are we looking at in this image?
It is a man holding a woman down, having sex. And it says hold down and send to Bay,
Is that BAE for the record?
BAE.
All right, if you could please tell us about the next message and date and time and what we're looking at.
8/3, 2018, 8/11. You don't have a good track record, and you didn't even have nothing to say when I was giving you different views. If I was in your shoes, I would have said, you put your own earrings in. I wouldn't shill about him.
Be careful. I wouldn't show what?
I wouldn't shill around him like you do. I'll stay as far away as I can and keep you happy, but not you, Miss Real Friendly. Be like I said, it's all,
Careful, detective.
oh, but like I said, it's all good. I'll get over it all. I hate that I keep getting in these moods over you and you don't see nothing I'm talking about.
And could you please, with the next entry, with date and time, and what is it?
So 8/3, 2018 at 8:17. I'm too jealous with you. I couldn't even sleep last night. I need to separate myself from you. Not yet. I need to calm down.
All right, if you could tell us about the next one, date and time, and what it is.
8/3, 2018 at 8:18 is a message. I know you have a lot of regrets, but I hope I'm not one.
Okay, and the next one,
8/4, 2018 at 4:08, and it appears to be an image.
and what is the image?
It is a screenshot of a Google search, how sexual the signs are, 1 through 10. And it lists all the zodiac signs with a number associated next to how sexual they are.
And next, if you could please tell us about the next entry, date and time, and what it is.
8/4, 2018, 4:10. You know your sister didn't rat you out, but she said something that was straight flag. I'm not going to talk to you ever again if you don't tell me, and I will go out of my way to not let you come here again.
And the next one, date and time, and what it is.
4/8/18, 4/12. Yeah, but he wants you, and you always be in his face.
And the next one, please.
8/5, 2018 at 5 o'clock,
And what is it?
an image.
And if you please describe, and don't say certain words, obviously.
Okay. The N-word, do not care when it comes to this position. They will drill and kill yo shit. And it's a image of sexual nature.
All right, and the next one.
So 8/6, 2018 at 1:38. It's not last minute nothing. Your aunt was talking about how much it costs to have,
Are you sure it's talking?
your aunt was thinking about how much it costs to have all of you guys at the house. And I was the one saying, so what? Let them come because I wanted to spend time with you. Yesterday, you was acting crazy, so I gave you a little space. But today, you are not yourself, and it's bothering me. You always say GN first if you're up before me. Now you are so into your coloring that you have no time for me. What type of bullshit is that? So again, like I said, if you want space, I'll give you all that you want. But if you keep pushing me away, I'm going to stop fighting to be with you. And you, KOT, what would it matter anyways? You'll be booed up with the next dude when you go to school, just like before. No, my bad. A bunch of dudes in your face. Now I leave you to your own fucking painting.
There's no O, right?
I leave you to your fucking painting.
Okay. And the next date and time and what we are looking at.
8/7, 2018, 5:30. I'm divorcing you. At
Ooh,
least I'll be able
Lord,
to
she
sleep
didn't hurt
knowing
me
I'm
up.
not going to be cheated on by you. I hate that we can't be straight up with each other. I will take you all home tomorrow.
And next, please, what are we looking at, date and time?
So 8/7/2018, 5:34. You're so full of shit, it makes me sick right now.
Okay, next message and date and time and what we're looking at.
8/7/2018, 5:35. And you don't need to stay here for her to get it.
And the next message, please, with date and time and what we're looking at.
8/7/2018, 5:36. I don't have to deal with none of ya.
Okay, and the next message, date and time and what we're looking at.
8/7/2018, 5:47. You got all of the excuses in the world, but I'm going to dead all of the bullshit because I know all of your sorry ass games. I'm so fucking done with you and your bullshit. Your man nasty to be with me and trying to be my son %2C who does that. Guess who? Ayana. That's who the fuck who. That's the fuck who.
Thank you, sir. And the next message, date and time and what we're looking at.
8/7/2018 at 5:48. I never ever would have thought I would ever think of you as a bird, but here I am.
And the next message, date and time, what we're looking at.
8/7/2018, 5:49. You know what I'm going to give you? Your last piece of dick in the AM and cut all ties with you completely.
And the next
My
entry
goodness.
with date and time and what we're looking at.
8/7/2018, 5:50. I'm almost there with hating you. If I wouldn't have loved you so much, I wouldn't have ever cared, but I do, and you're killing me.
And the next entry, date and time and what we're looking at.
8/7/2018, 5:51. Why not you do way worse?
And the next date and time entry.
8/7/2018, 5:53. I can't even stand you right now. I just think I was going to leave everything for you.
Johnathan getting on my
And
nerves.
if you could please do the next entry, date and time.
8/7/2018, 5:53. What a mistake that was going to be. I can't even keep it real with.
Is it you instead of I?
You can't even keep it real with.
And could you please do the next entry, date and time.
8/7/2018, 5:56. Your aunt and I was getting a divorce, and you and I, once you hit 18, was going to break out.
And could you please read the next date and time entry.
8/7/2018, 5:57. You officially have broke my heart for the very last time. I really feel all types of angry.
Boy, they got my eyelashes and everything falling down. Hold
And
up.
if you could please tell us about the next
Woo,
entry, date and time.
hallelujah.
8/7/2018,
Lord, hold up.
5:58. I'm truly going.
Man, these folk got my darn eyelashes, got my eyelashes falling loose. Lord, have mercy. Ooh, I can't read. I can't hear no more of this. I can't hear no more of this, y'all. I can't hear no more of this. I don't want to hear no more of this. I can't. Y'all go read this on y'all own. I can't hear no more of this. All I hear is a grown man complaining because he jealous. All I hear is a grown man jealous because the way a young girl being a young girl, and he jealous of his own son. Girl, Cowboy be done beat him. Cowboy be done ate him up, man. That man done make me ready to eat. I'm ready to fry me a piece of pork chop. I ain't had no breakfast day or nothing. Fooling him. Ooh, wait. God. You sure did tell me, girl. I don't even want to hear no more of this right here. I can't. And I see why the judge ready to go. I see why the judge ready to go. I'm ready to get out of here. I'm trying to run out, and they ain't even got to run out. I can just go. Ooh, wait. Ooh, I can't. I can't. I don't want to hear no more of this foolishness. He need to be up under the jail. Ooh, wait. He living this girl future for her. This is too much laughter. Woo! Ew, wait, no, I don't want to hear no more. Ew, y'all gonna read this on y'all own. I'm done dealing with this man. With this here, I just need to hear the defense. I need that. I don't want to hear no defense more. Not little neither. Ooh, boy, I'm ready to fry me a piece of pork chop, eat me some noodles. I ain't ate all day. I ain't dealing with this crazy. I don't want to say what I got to say. I'll wait till tomorrow and find out what's going on. Ooh, wait. This man here, he got to go to jail. He got to stay in jail. I can't, God. I can't. I'm done with him tonight. I can't. I ain't listening to nothing. Y'all over there listen to each other. I'm done. Look at Joanne and Rick. You ain't lying. That's what I'm about to do. I'm about to eat me something and go to sleep and wake up the next morning for y'all. Hey y'all, I appreciate y'all being here. This man right here don't trip me out. I'm out of here. I'm gone. I'm out. No, I'm out.